Boy, look at that. Look at that. I need a graphic. I need an opener for Triple Jointed.
Triple
Triple
Jointed.
Jointed is back. We told you guys this was not going to be a one and done. We knew we had to do it. Look at
That's
you,
right.
you two gents in your Superman shirts and me without.
Say it.
I love that we got the classic logo and the new one. I love
I love
that.
both.
That's awesome.
I love the classic too.
Yeah, man, they're both spectacular. Welcome everybody to another episode of Double Jointed. It's a special triple jointed episode, as you guys can see. We're joined this weekend by Curtis. Sorry that it is another pre-recorded episode. Nobody is more disappointed in that than Curtis himself. He
right
absolutely hates pre-recorded things. So do we, man. But look, 3 out of the next 4 Saturdays, I'm going to be out of pocket. A lot of concerts, a lot of things going on in July.
Man.
So
You're a busy man.
it's just, it's just how it is. This weekend, we're in Pensacola visiting some family. We do a thing every year where we all get together and we have a celebration in July called Nacho Birthday, because it's the only time we get together because nobody in either family has a birthday in July. So we get together and we have Nacho Birthday and we cook Mexican food and eat nachos, and it's a really good time. Orale. Doing sock checks.
I'm just glad that, some of us put Double Jointed a little higher on the priority than others. That's all I'm saying.
That's all there is to it.
It's valid. That's valid.
It's valid. Look, I don't think Greg and I have ever missed a Saturday. Even if we're not here, we're like, all right, we got to pre-record. We got to put something up. We can't just leave everybody hanging on Saturday. Exactly.
Usually on the Saturday too to hang out with the live
keep
chat.
The chat going.
That's right.
I appreciate that. That's as much as I'm not a pre-recorded guy, at least you being in the chat kind of makes it feel like it's still live.
Yeah, I'm responding to what we're saying and people in the chat. So
yeah, absolutely. I will always. That was Jeff's suggestion. He was like, "Hey, if you do a pre-recorded, you should always set it as premiere. That way, that you get to chat with the group and the chat and have a live chat." So Jeff, always good looking out. This is going to be a Superman focused episode because it is Superman week here at Double Jointed headquarters. It's Superman week everywhere. All of us were lucky enough to see it way back on Tuesday night. But when we're recording, this wasn't that long ago. It was a lot of fun. We've all seen it, so we're gonna have a very kind of like last week's all G.I. Joe Snowcat focused episode. We're gonna have an all Superman focused episode. Everything that we see today is gonna have something to do with Superman in some way or the other. And then when we go to double down about Superman the movie, the new movie, we're going to break it into 2 segments because, some of you guys out there are not going to want spoilers, and we want to make sure #no spoilers. We don't want to spoil anything for you. So first bit of that conversation will be spoiler free. We're going to talk about the movie in just very general terms in a way that where hopefully we can cover some things that don't spoil it for you, but then we're going to give you fair warning. And if you stick around after that, it's no longer our fault. All gloves are off. We're going to be spoiling hell out of that Superman movie. So we're going to be talking about it. So if you don't care about spoilers and you just want to hear us ramble about it, stick back because that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's, I want to just welcome you guys to, being here. Thank you for getting together. Kind of short notice in the middle of the week and disrupting your nightly routines. I really appreciate it. And I'll have a Superman review going up. By the time you watch this, guys, it's already happened. So let's see.
This will be old news.
It'll be all old news. Man, I hate time travel. I hate time travel.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And you guys know that I couldn't get out of here without doing some superpowers commercials. And I tried to, because I've shown a few.
Curtis, that's.
I know, man. I know.
Down for that.
I've shown a few. So I had to dig really hard to find
out. That did make. I'm not a pre-record guy, but you gotta give me some superpowers, man. You can do whatever you want.
I think you're going to be.
That's all it takes.
Pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised. I had to dig hard to find one that we. I know how to hook him and reel him.
That's right. That's right.
And Curtis knows all about a good time because if you got, hey, by the way, if you guys are not watching Curtis's travel toy videos, you really should. I think the Captain America count is up to like
There's a lot of caps
7,384
out there.
to 1,019 Batman if you're just keeping score at the house. But if you're not watching his travel toy videos, you're missing gems like this right here.
I don't even need the extra hands. Just give me 2 fists and I'm good.
That's all he needs. Just 2 fists and he's good.
And listen, he was talking about this figure when he said,
"Oh, was he?"
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
I heard
Wow,
that.
That's a clip right there. I didn't expect that one to come back and bite me.
I heard that, and I LOL'd in the car by myself.
I don't even need the extra hands. Just give me 2 fists and I'm good.
That's it, right there.
We're saving it. Hey, don't
Man.
worry. I'm not sending it to Jordan or Van. I'm just keeping that one close to the chest. We're going to get cracking with the very first video. Of course, it had to be Superpowers. And like I was trying to say, I did have to dig really hard to find one that we had not, that featured Superman, and one that we had not shown before, because we've shown a lot. But here we go.
Let's do it.
Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers collection. Impossible. The Hall of Justice under attack. Batman behind bars. New from Kenner's Superpowers collection. Hall of Justice playset. Some assembly required. Vehicles and figures sold separately.
Use the trapdoor, Batman!
Brainiac's taken over the computer. Joker in the elevator. Evil forces joining for a final assault. Who can restore order?
Superman!
Can Superman save the Hall of Justice? You decide.
Oh, man, I love that.
I remember that.
never had that Hall of Justice. Man, I wanted it so bad as a kid.
Me too, man.
I gotta tell you, I've used the trapdoor to make people go into the cell. I've never seen anybody use the trapdoor to try to get out. That was interesting. Kids like, use the trapdoor, get out of there. Like, what? Do you know how trapdoors work? I don't know.
It doesn't bend that way. The spring doesn't go that way.
Right.
Turn the chair the other direction. There's another one that's really good that features Superman, and it has Samurai. It's got some of the later characters released, and it's shot on a set that looks like it's on an asteroid with like smoke and stars in the background. The problem is that the only versions of it that exist on YouTube are all recorded off of a TV set with somebody's camcorder, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's a fun commercial because it's got like I said, it's got Samurai and what was the Native American superhero? Apache. I think he's in the video too. I think he's in that commercial.
He wasn't in the Superpowers line though.
Wasn't he? He was
with the Power Twins, wasn't he? On that when they redid it.
All right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Did Wonder Twins either? It was. They
never did Wonder Twins.
That's what I meant. Wonder Twins.
Yeah, they never did the Wonder Twins.
I would have loved an Apache though. That would have been awesome.
Man, who am I thinking of then? Who am I? Oh, Pharaoh. That's who I'm thinking of. That's who was in the commercial. Is Pharaoh.
Which I don't know who that is.
He's gold and purple. He kind of has wings, like his arms are up like this. He's got wings that curve underneath.
I mean, there's Black Lightning, and then there's the Samurai dude. And
yeah, looking back on it, there was a lot more heroes than I thought. Like I didn't know some of the characters, and I didn't like the Pharaoh. I think he was good. And Cyclotron, I always played him as bad, but he was supposed to be good.
There's just a handful of bad guys.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's weird that they use some really obscure characters, They dug deep. They could have.
Yeah, there's still more available. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm hoping. I mean, that's kind of really why I'm hoping McFarlane hangs on to the licenses, because I need more.
Well, now I got 2 more kids out of the house, so now I can. I was only collecting the superpowers I had when I was younger. Now I might have to go a little bit bigger. I don't know. I got an extra room to spread stuff out.
I know, right? And people are getting antsy for that new wave. A buddy of mine here in town actually ordered it from Canada when it went up, and he has the newest wave that's got like Animal Man, Dead Man, Cyborg, and who is the other one?
Oh yeah.
Is it like Disco Robin or Disco Nightwing or something?
Yeah, I need to get that Cyborg though.
They haven't even been officially announced by McFarlane. they're supposedly in America. They're going to be a McFarlane store exclusive, which is fine. I mean, I'll order them and pay their $20 shipping. That's fine because I need that weight.
I was on a show a couple weeks ago, and somebody was showing one of the Superpowers black suit Superman that he had got from a secondhand store loose. And I'm like, I didn't even know that existed. I guess it's like a Chase variant from the last wave, the one that had like Lobo and Robin and all that. Like it's a Chase figure. And like, I mean, I've never even seen that at stores. And somebody bought it, got tired of it, and sold it.
Yeah, I didn't
And
want
this guy
that.
got it loose for like $1 or something. That one right there, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
So-
still have it in package. Yeah, it was a Chase variant. This was also the wave that came with the Detective Batman with the mask off and Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
that was another Chase. Yeah,
I had him up there.
The mullet Superman.
dude, I love Mullet
Yeah.
Superman. It's my favorite.
I know that.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to move on to the next commercial. And hey, I kind of did something really, I didn't stick with just the 80s. I kind of went through time to sort of go from Superpower Superman to some late 90s era Superman. So early 2000s. So here's, we typically don't do this on but we may have to eventually. I'm going to run out of 80s commercials.
That's okay, man.
To stop the evil Doomsday, you need a hero who's more than a man. He's been called the greatest, the strongest, the first among heroes. High-voltage villain Conduit is powered by kryptonite, but with Krypton cannon blasting, Laser Superman powers him down. Conduit will learn,
That
don't
mullet
mess
again.
with the S. It's the dreaded Doomsday, the most fearsome force in the universe. Even Doomsday will learn, you don't mess with the S. Superman figures each sold separately, blocks not included.
So this was right after I got out of toys when this line came out. So I
I
was
don't think
like,
I've ever
probably,
seen that commercial.
I was probably
had those.
high school or college maybe
had
when
'em?
these came out.
I wasn't collecting toys, but I had those.
Who made
Yeah.
those? Did it say?
I can't remember.
To stop the evil Doomsday, you need a hero who's more than a man.
Playmates.
He's been called the greatest, the strongest, the
I
first
wanted to say
among
Toy
heroes.
Biz, but
To stop the evil
What do I see
I
there?
don't know.
Um,
Just says blocks not
Blocks
included.
not included.
oh
They
yeah.
say that also. Blocks.
evil
not-
Doomsday, you need a hero who's more to learn. You don't.
Let's
Sold
see.
separately, blocks not included.
Yeah, it's not
Superman
saying.
figures each sold separately,
Yeah,
blocks
doesn't
not
say.
included.
But this was kind of
Hmm.
cool because I did not know that this commercial existed, and this came out in the last couple of months.
Oh,
Man movie. Watch out! A giant kaiju monster is
Ooh.
destroying the city. This looks like a job for Superman. He flies in with a powerful punch. Ew! Slime explosion. Uh-oh, the kaiju is reloading for a bigger battle. Call in the Justice Gang. Get him, Green Lantern. Mr. Terrific teams up. Hawk Girl soars in to help Superman save the day. Boom! Slime time! Superman versus Kaiju Battle Pack. Other figures each sold separately. Superman movie rated PG-13.
I gotta
Isn't
say,
that crazy?
those older figures looked way better than these new ones. I gotta say.
That is true.
Absolutely.
fun.
They look fantastic, but I didn't even know they made one of these old school commercials for these
That's
Mattel
cool.
figures.
I like it.
I love that.
Econo toys.
Oh, is that who that was?
No, I'm just saying they're cheaper.
Oh, they're the yeah, I got you.
yeah, that's Spin Masters. Yeah.
Spin Masters. That's right,
Yeah.
not Mattel. That's right.
Which are, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not bad for kids. I mean,
No, for kids they're all right, but I mean, they're more expensive than what we had as kids, and what
That
we had
is
was
true.
way better. So
yeah, we were just
Absolutely.
talking about Condor from Mask last
Mm.
week, like the price, and I didn't know if it was like $7 something, $8, $7 something.
Yeah, it was like $5.99 or $6.99, and now it's like $35.99. It's crazy.
for the same thing,
the
For the
same,
exact
like the same size, like they didn't
Literally.
upscale it, nothing.
literally
Yeah.
the same thing.
But new kids making them,
Yeah.
over in the sweat
New
factory.
kids.
Yeah, new generation
Different kids.
of
Yeah, those other
Yeah,
kids are
Johnny
old now.
Wahlberg and the boys. Yeah, they're over there
Exactly.
making them.
I saw this new commercial and I thought it was great because it captures the spirit of those old timey commercials so well.
absolutely.
And then I immediately thought, hey, that kaiju with the slime, that could be a Curtis's like travel toy pickup. I was like, yeah, could be. Maybe one.
Yeah, I don't mess with slime.
You don't mess with slime.
Dude, I hated slime. Like it just get all the dust and dirt and hair
Yeah, if you
and
dropped
everything.
it, it
Like,
was over.
dude,
Yeah.
Drop it on the floor and it's done. It's like,
Well, there was two kinds. There was the kind
Ready.
that you could play with that you're talking about, Curtis, that would get dusty and dirty and it would get grimy, but it was not wet. Like you messed around with it and your hands were still dry after it. Then there was the other kind that was like super wet. I hated that kind where you'd get done and you had to go wash your hands because your hands were like sticky from it. Like I didn't like that kind of slime.
Yeah, I'm not any kind of slime guy. I don't care.
it's a gimmick to me, and I was like, I don't care about that. It's a gimmick.
Yeah,
just give me a good action figure. I don't care about slime.
Yeah.
All right. I think this is going to be another easy week for Name That Tune.
Okay.
You know, we're filming this on Thursday. I guarantee that Andy knows it before it even plays on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He'll
already know.
He's just going to wake up and he's going to be like, wait a minute. And he's going to name it.
This is an all Superman episode. It's going to be Super Friends. He's going to put it in the chat before it. Yeah, I'm going to go back and look at the chat. I bet he's already.
That's if he's awake. It's a toss up. Sometimes
he always gets up on Saturday morning for our show. But during the week, he'll chat us and he's like, "Good morning, guys," and I'll look at my phone. It's 2:30 in the afternoon,
it's like
and I'm like, "Dude, come on." Hey, that's what when you're living that rock star lifestyle, you can get up at 2:30.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see if we can name that tune.
I know you're here, Luthor. Show yourself.
I finally get to see the Man of Steel in his moment of doom.
Tell me where the other Super Friends are, Luthor.
They're probably already on their way to the Great Hall of Justice in the sky.
Burn.
That's it, Luthor. You're through spreading your evil.
Go ahead, Superman. Destroy me. But before you've finished me, they will have destroyed the Earth.
Great Scott.
Fire.
I love when they used to say
Those
Great
sun
Scott.
creatures are burning that village.
Scott, Batman.
I'll deal with you later, Luthor.
I doubt it, Superman. I doubt it.
Is he at Mongolia?
A quick blast of my super chill breath should put out these places.
Let's tell everybody what we're going to do while the houses are on fire. Look at these guys.
Superman, we've been expecting you.
You and your fiery friends had better leave, or I'll extinguish all of you.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to keep watching to make
fun. I know, right? It's so fun, dude. Yeah, when I go through and I start watching cartoon clips, like to try to find what to pull, man, it's so fun. Like it's
I'm surprised you guys haven't got booted for that.
Well, we do get demonetized, like, and I'll know tonight because like I'll upload it.
Oh yeah, and it gives you the little this can't be monetized. I'll get a little email.
Hey, it won't be monetized. I don't care. It's fine. I mean, look, this is what this show's all about. I don't care if it doesn't make any money. I mean, you know what? So it's going to keep me from making 60 cents.
We had one on Offworld, and that channel, like, they don't even have enough subscribers to be monetized. But we did one on like the best cartoon theme songs, right? Mm-hmm. And we played like 30 seconds of each theme song, and like they took the video completely down. They were like, nope. They're like, yep.
Now I've never had a video taken down.
Yeah, and then we had to. I guess Dooch had to go back in there and like. I guess he was able to edit some of the clips and then get it back up there. But yeah, they were like, nope, you like not only not monetized, like you're not playing this at all. Like,
wow,
that's wild.
And I it's supposed to be, isn't there like it's like fair use in like if you're rating them, like you're not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah,
for editorial content. Yeah.
Right.
Which is what you guys would be doing. Yeah. You're not using it to like in your theme music or anything like that.
Right.
Dude, so when I started my channel, when I started Saturday Morning Toy Collector, the music that I used came from the YouTube music program. I just used a track that was in their program, and I was using it for like almost, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, and then the guy who, I guess the creator who made the track decided he didn't want to like be a part of that program anymore, and he left, I guess, and they pulled the track. And so the very next weekend I posted a video, or the next day I posted a review whenever I used that music, and YouTube said, "Hey, you're demonetized. Like, you can't because of that track." And I was like, "Wait, that track came from you?" And they're like, "Yeah, I appealed." And they're like, "Yeah, the guy's no longer part of our program. You gotta, if you want to keep using it, you gotta either pay." It wasn't even like like you could keep using it and they would use they would get like a portion of the thing. It was like I had to pay for the right to use it, and I would have to pay. I think it was like $3, but it was not $3 for life. It was $3 every time I used it. So every video would have cost me $3. So I was like, I'll just change it. It's fine. No problem. No problem. But yeah, you got to love copyright. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into where's my wish book? Where is my wish book? All right, we're going to do something a little different because I wanted to do an all superpowers page.
Ooh.
But that's really hard to find in the catalog. All superpowers. But what I did find was this. This was really cool. Now, this came out in the middle of the run. This actually came out prior to like some of the later figures being released, but it was a pack-in. This little pack-in poster was packed in instead of, I think they stopped maybe with the mini comics at some point, and they started packing in these little posters. And that would be like this beautiful image on one side, which I love. But on the back side was like a little catalog. It was like a little like cross sale.
I like this stuff better.
I know, right? And as you see, there's some of the figures are not here. Like some of the later release figures are not included. And this came from My Comics Shop. I found this. He had a fairly good size file here. But man, this thing is just gorgeous. And what I wouldn't give like to have one of these now.
I mean, this isn't the whole collection.
No, it's not.
I would be ecstatic with everything that's on this page.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is like of all of these figures, like which was the one that immediately like you would gravitate to and be like, I need that one right there? Like,
I've got two. The one that I just thought was the absolute coolest was Firestorm. Like Firestorm, I just thought like the look of him with the flames and stuff, like just thought was amazing. But like one of my most vivid memories as a kid was we had gone over to this it was like a couple that was friends with my parents, and they had kids too, and we would have like this little Christmas party like on Christmas Eve. And so we got to open up one present, and the one present that I opened was a Green Arrow. And I remember seeing that like almost translucent green bow and everything, and it was just super cool, man. I just have like this complete, I mean, I can remember opening the paper, seeing that, opening the package, getting it out of there, and like, so those two are really kind of the two that are, you know, strike a chord with me.
What about you, Greg?
I didn't have a lot of these figures. Every time I got one, it was like an event. I think Superman was my first one, and then Batman. But I always loved Hawkman and Dr. Fate. I don't know what it was, but like Hawkman, I at the time it was the 80s. The comic book was kind of really popular, Hawkman, and so I was collecting that at the same time. And it was just a good time to be like a Hawkman fan. So that, and I loved Dr. Fate's comic book, and I loved his costume. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say those two, even though Superman and Batman are like the best. Brainiac was the coolest, I think, figure of this line, in my opinion. But I will always adore Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
I'm going to go with two that I didn't have as kids and don't have them as adults. And I very much want McFarlane to make them. And that is, I'm going to go with Red Tornado. I never had him as a kid. I always wanted him.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And I'm going to go with Desaad. I never had him as a kid. And I mean, I know that those two don't go together. Like Batman and Joker would be great. Superman and Brainiac would be amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with those two.
So which ones did you guys have as kids?
I had the whole collection.
You had them all?
I had everything. Yep.
What
I
about
think I was missing a couple of the vehicles. Like I didn't even know that Calibok thing. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, the Calabasher.
But I had every other vehicle that's on here. I had every figure. And then my mom gave my whole collection away. So,
how about
yeah,
you?
I never had Red Tornado from this collection. I never had Desaad, and I never had that the green and yellow Parademon. Isn't that a Parademon? Because there's two, right?
No, that's Mantis.
Mantis,
yeah,
never had him
Parademon's
either.
underneath of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I did have that Parademon. I had the Lex Luthor ship and the Batmobile and the Superman ship, and I never had that yellow ship, the Calabasher, or that big Darkseid ship. I never had the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, the yellow one's Firestorm. I think they called it like the Probe or Fire Probe, something like that.
Probe one.
Yeah.
I always loved the
yeah.
idea that the characters that could fly would also have a ship.
Yeah, it's
you know?
awesome.
Like
Love
they
it.
don't.
I have a version of that. I found one in a thrift store, so I have that Delta Probe one. But
That's cool.
kid, I had Batman, Superman, Hawkman, Steppenwolf, Brainiac, and Lex Luthor, I think.
Steppenwolf was my favorite villain when I was a kid.
He was
like
awesome.
favorite toy villain.
Likes.
Like
And that axe.
Man, he was like one of the only ones in the line I didn't care about. I was like, I don't know
Yeah.
who this guy is. I'm not digging.
I
his
still have
vibe.
mine from when I was a kid. It's up on my shelf. My dog chewed it up. So like his
yours
his
chewed up.
axe is
You
it's
showed
bad.
it.
It's terrible. But I bought a better version.
I love the
from a thrift
Brainiac,
store.
but he was loose as all get out, man.
Oh
You
man,
get that,
yeah, the
you know,
legs were floppy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That back metal was just—it was so pretty.
Mhm.
The translucent skull on top.
Well, speaking about McFarlane's superpowers figures and Vac Metal, in that new wave that's coming out soon is the Cyborg figure, which is incredible. But it's not Vac Metal. But I have seen so many people saying just get one of those silver paint pens, and they just work wonders. So I think I want to, if I can, I think I'm going to try to track down 2 of those Cyborgs and try to do it and just see what happens.
I love classic Cyborg with the
Yeah,
afro.
I've never had that
and the
as a kid.
silver. I didn't either, but I always, as a kid in the comic with Teen Titans, I always thought he was super cool.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine here locally who bought one. He got a really good promotion at work and he got a signing bonus. And he's
wow.
like, I'm buying myself a Cyborg because he's a huge superpowers collection guy. And that was the only figure from the entire wave of everything that he never had as a kid. And he never told me exactly what he paid, but it was more than $1,500 and less than $2,000.
Now,
But,
Curtis,
I
do
mean,
you
hey,
have
if it-
these old ones now?
I've got a few in the garage. I've got some vintage stuff in the garage. So I have like Batman and Robin in the Batmobile. I think I have the Superman mobile. I think that might. I think I got Joker and Penguin too, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's so many.
They're expensive.
They're expensive.
Especially
They
if you like some of this old stuff. I like to get mint on card, and like these ones are expensive mint on card, like ridiculous.
I think I paid like $100 for a good Batman.
And that Hall of Justice, if you try to get a sealed Hall of Justice, dude, you're dropping a few $1,000s.
That's crazy. Crazy. Oh man, what I wouldn't give to have some of this stuff again. Exactly. All right. Well, let's move into our pickups.
Thanks for showing that.
I gotta say, if
Hey, the button's going to do what the button's going to do.
I gotta say, if I had a time machine, because I had all of those, I would definitely go back in time and play with myself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
So the old Curtis would play with the young Curtis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like that though. Don't.
You play
don't-
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play-
I think
exactly.
I think I would enjoy myself too.
Oh, yeah.
I think I would say, "Hey, you're kind of a cool guy," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I am. You're kind of a cool kid too."
You want to sit and
We
play
would get along really
superpowers?
well.
Let's go play.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know if I could go back in time and have everything from a line, if it would be superpowers or mask, but it would be one of those
That would
two.
be a good
Probably
topic, I think.
superpowers.
Like, what would you go back and grab as a kid?
It'd be one of
Mask
those
was
two.
fun, but I tell you what, I'd have them open for about 3.5 minutes before the missiles and stuff would be just gone. They would just
Yeah.
There's
Can't
an
find 'em.
alternate dimension that
Yeah.
this falls in.
just like
Instantly
one of every pair of socks and the missiles from the mask vehicles just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Dog toys.
My daughter's shoes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Your
We have no
keys.
idea.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, pickups. I don't have a lot. I've got like 3 or 4.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'll kick things off
Do it,
with
baby.
the last figure that I am getting in the Kicking It with Chuck series. I did. Let me get his little weapon in his hand. He's not complete because he didn't come with both weapons. But I have. Man, I'm having a really hard time. Forget the weapon. I got the black ninja. I had picked up the red
Great.
ninja.
Nice.
And he has one of his weapons. I think I'm gonna track down the other. I'm watching a couple of sets of weapons now because I want to try to get some for the other guy as well. But the whole thing works like you're supposed to like put his little weapon in his hand and then knock you out.
Wow. So are you complete now?
I'm not complete because there's still one that I don't have, but I'm okay not getting it. And it is the black and gold variant of the Super Ninja. The Super Ninja was purple and gold, and that's the one that I had as a kid, and I love it. And I have it. So like I bought it while upgrading, like getting all of these again. I don't think I'm gonna track it down. So I'm complete. That's the only figure I'm not missing.
Are you doing any of the like play sets or anything?
There was a car that was called the Karate Corvette, and there was a motorcycle called the Samurai Cycle, and I can't seem to find them for reasonable prices on eBay. I've seen, like, if you find the car, you're gonna find it broken, missing parts. It's like $20. I don't want that. And then the other end of the spectrum is it's mint in box and it's like $400, and I don't want to do that either because I want to open it and play with it. So I thought, oh well, I'll definitely get the Samurai Cycle, but I can't seem to find it. There's nobody selling them. Getting rid
Wasn't
of
there
them.
like a play set where you like break wood and stuff like that? Or am I thinking of the
That
Karate Kid?
was Karate Kid.
Okay.
Yeah, Karate Kid had a couple of play sets. There was like
It would go together well though.
They would. I mean, I could easily get some of that Karate Kid stuff.
I think they were the
and
same company, right? That made both.
Might have been. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, because they kind of like it got me in the mood for like getting old toys, and now I'm kind of like thinking, should I do Karate Kid next, or should I do like Rambo? Because I really liked.
I was thinking of Rambo myself.
But Karate Kid's a lot of fun. It's a lot like this. Like, they have kung fu features, and Karate Kid had some really cool playsets. So they had like Miyagi's dojo with the broken wood and like the little wooden post thing that you could punch. And then there was the Karate Kid arena, like the karate championship, where you could put them on these little things and move them back and forth. And then there was this huge playset that was like it was like 2 stories, and it was like Kung Fu Alley or something. We featured it on the show once, and you could play it. It had a bunch of features in the front. You could spin it around. There's features on the back. It looks really cool. Like that would be fun to have. But again, I don't know where I'd put it. Running out of space as it is.
I like vintage stuff. I think it's fun. It's just expensive.
Yeah. All right. Whoever else is next. Whoever wants to jump in there.
I got. Speaking of Dr. Fate,
yes,
nice.
Finally got one. It's been a while, but
it's been a while.
Yeah, been a while. Love Dr. Fate. Love his costume. Curtis, you're a fan too, right? Of Dr. Fate?
Yeah. I mean, any of those old Superpowers figures, and especially in those like classic colors. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna show this as it's a custom part, but it is like a ridiculously cool one. It's this like fish that a like dwarf body or whatever, any kind of 1.0 body fits in here. You put the arms in the side, and it's like this like big fish head from Brian CB Make on
Brian
Instagram.
C makes some insane. Yeah,
I don't know what kind of stuff happened to him as a kid. But his brain is different.
Yeah, he had some mushroom.
But I saw this thing. He painted it up like a big giant goldfish or something, and put like Mythic Legion arms and legs in it. I was like, dude, I need one of those. He goes, well, I just made it for me. I really not selling. I'm like, I don't care. You need to make me one.
Yeah,
so.
That thing looks like the guy from Mask, like that Cher movie.
Wow, bro.
Eric Roth. Was that his name?
Well, if the cartoon didn't get us, that did.
Wow, bro.
Sorry, man. That's what it looks like to me.
What was his real name? It was
I don't know.
I don't know because it's not. I mean, that wasn't Elephant Man, so it's not. Malik. What was his name? John Merrick. Yeah, I don't know. But who played that guy? That was Eric Roth,
Eric
right?
Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz. Whatever. Close enough.
He was supposed to be Marty McFly.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Let's see. I did get a little. I have a little. Well, lost it.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I got a little thing. Just a little something. So I don't know if you guys have seen, but I did get these clothes in for one of my Mythic Legion skeletons. But this is the Mezco Theodore sod cutter hat. And I painted it brown. I got this off of eBay this week because I figured this guy needed a hat.
It's perfect.
And then,
cool
it does. Oh, yeah. I mean, besides me knocking it off just now, and then a buddy of mine has these really tiny little like fake mustaches. So I think I'm going to put one of those on him too because I'm calling him Farmer Bones. His little patch back there. I don't know why I keep messing with this guy. Just a fun little dude to hang out on my desk. But that's one of the
skeleton kind of custom. Working on it.
Greg, what you got?
My next is I love Black Suit Spider-Man. Not really a big Tobey Maguire guy, but I do love the black suit. So this head I'll get rid of.
That thing's going in a bin. I'll never use it.
Yeah.
You're not going to have him dancing around.
Yeah, exactly. The cool emo with the hair. But I like the suit. I think the suit looks really good. So I picked that up from Big Bad Toy Store. I got two more things.
Got this from our good buddy Terrence St. John. It's the Jason Todd Robin. Nice. No pants on this one. So been wanting to get one of those. So
is that an opener?
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Oh no. This is these stay nice and minty, looking very vintage. So
now if he would have shipped it curled up or something, what?
I would have sent him back with pictures of my toes.
Want my money back?
Yeah.
He wouldn't let me pay. I kept trying to pay him. He wouldn't even send me his PayPal.
Good man.
Yeah,
that's Terrence for you. Let's see. A couple of days ago, when the Amazon sales, the Amazon days started, they had this guy.
I'm out of touch. I didn't even know that it was a thing.
Yeah, their big sales started going on, and I've been on the fence on this guy. I mean, I knew I wanted it, but every week when I would get my money and I would look at my budget for toys for the next 2 weeks, I kept pushing him further down the list. I was just like, I'll get him 2 weeks. I'll get him in 2 weeks. He's about $33. I got him for $20 on sale, and that is what's his name here? Kelnaka. This is the Jedi Wookiee from the Acolyte. I was super excited when he was announced. I'm like, man, a Wookiee Jedi, but then $35. He just kept getting lower and lower on the list. But hey, 20. I was like, you got it. So $20.
Very nice.
Finally added him to the collection.
Plus, he died off screen. That's not cool. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Representing our boy.
Nice.
There you go.
got Lucifer. Can't read it. That's all right. Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the devil. So I got Lucifer.
Mhm.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. I haven't even opened it yet, but
Last one for me, and this is from a company that I do not like, but they make a toy that I have to have, and that is Silverhawks. This is Steel Will. I've
Look
not
at that.
opened up
It's
Bluegrass
gorgeous.
yet, but this is my third of the back metal figures. Bluegrass is waiting to be opened, and then hopefully I get a Copper Kid before Super 7 stops making.
I hear he's coming.
Yeah. I don't
We'll
think
see.
they would do us that way. But hey, stranger things have happened.
Listen,
He looks
I
gorgeous.
wouldn't think that they would make us buy a whole other set of toys and then turn around and give us the back metal. But, you know, sometimes things happen. So,
Yeah.
Things happen. Things happen.
Yeah.
That is my all-time favorite character from Silverhawks. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to get that guy.
the Copper Kid.
No, still will.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
Copper Kid. Like, I love the little astronomy trivia that they did at the end where he would go in the little thing and answer the questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all
Let's
I
see
got.
here. I went and met a buddy today right down the road because he was getting ready to go see Superman. He had something for me that he'd picked up, and that was I don't collect these, but we have just recently watched all of the Jurassic Park movies with our kids, and then we took them to go see Rebirth. And I was like, you know what? I need a little Velociraptor. So this is the Hammond
I like
collection.
those little ones. Yeah.
Yeah, there's three. There's I saw that you found this guy and the Stygimaloch. I don't know how you say that. On one of your toy hunts, you came across these two, and I didn't know there was a third one, a different type of raptor. This is one of those weird things because I was like, I kind of want one, and I want to take some pictures with, like, say, some Valaverse figures, like soldiers trying to take these out, and I kind of just want to play with it and have some fun with it. I'm not collecting them, but it's one of those weird things. It's like, I know that now science has now proven that velociraptors had feathers. I know that, but my brain won't accept it. Like, because I went on the that Creative Beast Studios website, and I was like, I'll just get a raptor from those guys because they know what they're doing. They're all scientifically, kind of based, and they're all feathered. They're all like birds. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can do that. Like, they look cool and they're beautifully painted and sculpted, but it's like my brain just won't let me accept. It's like, no, they should look like that. Science is like, no, they had feathers. And I go, yeah, but they look like that.
I mean, there's a
I
lot
just
of people
can't.
that aren't accepting science. So, you don't have to.
Exactly.
Cool.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of raptors, when the first movie came out, there was a line of really cool dinosaurs, and that raptor was one of the first figures that I bought coming back into toys again. And it was a really cool figure. I don't remember who made that line, but it was really detailed, really well articulated.
I will say that, okay, in defense of Spielberg's movies and then the subsequent sequels that, he executive produced, and having just watched literally all of them over the course of the last 10 days, I will say that the movies do a really good job of explaining why the first series of dinosaurs didn't have feathers. And it was because the dinosaurs that was like in the first three films, they were all of the, as you remember, famously, the DNA was spliced with DNA from animals from our time, like
Yeah, it was like
frogs
frogs and
reptiles.
stuff, right?
Right.
So they explained it away eventually by saying, by the time they got to the Jurassic World films, they explained it away saying, yeah, those were, because there's some people in the in the movies that are like, dinosaurs had feathers, right? And they're like, yeah, well, the ones on this island, their DNA was spliced together with modern reptiles, so modern reptiles don't have feathers, and so they didn't. That's why they didn't. And then in the subsequent films, like the last three, like Jurassic World movies with Chris Pratt, who was his birthday recently. I don't know if you guys knew that.
It was Jesse.
I heard that.
They took it upon themselves to put dinosaurs in their movies with feathers, and they said these dinosaurs, their DNA was unaltered. So they did a good job, I think, of explaining why at first they didn't, and then why they decided to transition. So I will, in the defense of the movies, I think they did try to explain it at some point, but my brain still says this is what a raptor looks like.
I just don't get how you can have that many movies where, like, they keep killing people and they keep going. You know what? Maybe we'll try again. Yeah, let's try. Let's try again. Like maybe we had bad luck a couple times, but
let's do it again.
This is the time that dinosaurs works.
But,
like they're not,
and it's always for money.
That's what I was going to say. That's what it is.
Yeah, every time they find a reason to go back, it's so that some rich dude can make more money.
It's like a corporation that's trying to find a way to monetize these creatures.
Right. I mean, the first guy was like trying to do it for like his grandkids and stuff, right? Like he was, but I mean, he was still going to make money off of it too. But yeah,
that wasn't his main priority,
right?
Right. And every subsequent film, it's just one bigger, dumb, rich guy sending people back so that he can make more money and still thinking, well, the dinosaurs won't kill him all this time. I will say, if you guys have not seen the new movie Rebirth,
I did see it. It's excellent.
It's incredible. It is.
Really?
It's a massive action film.
I heard the exact opposite. So I'm going to have, I guess I'll have to wait and see it.
Well, myself. I'm a fan of Gareth Edwards, the guy who directed it, and his trajectory was kind of meteoric. I mean, the guy was making very low budget, like indie films, and then he made like his first break in Hollywood was the first Godzilla movie, the first of the reboots. And so he makes that, like he went from indie to instantly Godzilla. His second film is, Rogue One. Like, you don't get bigger than that. Like, where do you go next? And then he was like, well, I want to make something on my own. So he makes that movie called The Creator, which was incredible. The robots in like, like in these little villages, like Vietnamese villages and stuff. Insanely great. So good. And then now he does this. I mean, so like he's 4 Hollywood blockbusters in. What can he not do? Like he shoots big. He shoots these huge, massive scenes. He shoots the way Spielberg shoots. I'm a fan of his work. So, I could have gone into it with a terrible script and terrible acting and been like, man, the visuals were great because that dude just knows. Gareth Edwards knows how to shoot a movie and make it look big and epic. He's like Ridley Scott in that way. Like you can give Ridley Scott like a $10 million budget and your movie's going to look like $300 million. It's just how he just knows what to do with the money. So anyway,
some people got it.
We're here to talk about Superman, not, oh man, do you have any more pickups?
Last pickup, Superman.
What we're going to talk about.
Interesting.
I got a pickup today that this is probably going to be my travel toy for tomorrow because we're getting on the road. Went in a local Target and I picked up, this is the Batman from the Cowardly Lot. I don't know the art. I don't know this book, this comic series. Also don't know why it is a red platinum variant because this is supposed to be for deep cut characters. And Batman don't get more prime time than him, but I love that head sculpt, dude. Like that head sculpt
is a nice head. Yeah, for sure.
Like the body we've seen 1,000 times, but that head is amazing. So
I'm glad that they got around to making a Batman.
I know, because there's just, God love them, not enough of them on. I know. If only Hasbro could make a Captain America figure.
I know, right?
All right, let's get to our unboxing.
I think Curtis is gonna beat us.
I'll pretend like I'm opening something.
He's just rattling like paper.
Yeah, let me hear some noises there. Do we care about the card? I just leave the card in the box. Like I don't even.
You don't have to tear your fingernail up to get it out. That's the one thing I hate about these packages is that every time I go to try to take the card out, I'm afraid I'm gonna get a paper cut under my fingernail. Which to me sounds like the most deadly thing ever.
Mark doesn't even notice. Not even noticing.
Oh, look, that bubble wrap, man. It's just popping bubbles.
I'm just going to pop bubbles while you guys are
one of you, Curtis.
Oh, man, you got the big ones.
Yeah, Big Daddy. I can't pop it.
That's because that's the one where they move from the one to the other bubble. You squeeze one, it just shoots it into the other.
That's true.
You get one big pop, and that's it.
I saw this meme the other night that I thought was hilarious. I had to share it with my wife. It was, you know, those plastic cake trays that you get from like Publix or the grocery store that's got like a cake in it or whatever, but it's like a plastic tray on the bottom and a plastic lid. It's like you can break into my house at 3 a.m. and I'm not going to hear it. But you start trying to get a piece of cake out of this thing and the entire neighborhood wakes up. And it's like, dude, look at this cape. This cape is solid. You know, it's so funny to see him in these bright, vibrant colors because I've played with this guy for like the last month. The battle damage version.
The one that they handed to an auto mechanic.
Yeah, I love that. By the way, when you said that in your review, I thought that was incredible. I thought that was you handed it to somebody with an auto mechanic.
Dang.
Nova, it's not your time, baby girl. It's not your time.
That to her.
I know, dude. This figure is absolutely incredible. Like,
great.
I gotta hand it to McFarlane. The rubber trunks, they work on characters like Superman or like with Batman who has trunks, because I mean it just makes it look so realistic. It doesn't look
that it hides the articulation. You don't have that weird joint there. Yeah.
Did they do that
with like the SH Figure Arts one where it has like that weird like 3 joints into the like that's just weird. I can't do that. And did you see the Shooter McGavin head on that SH Figure Arts Superman that they did?
I love that comparison. It's spot on.
It is.
Yeah, it looks just like that guy.
And it's so much more expensive than McFarlane one. How does McFarlane get the likeness down that good, and then SH Figure Arts for that price makes it look like Shooter?
That's a guy from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
he's been on so many things.
Once you see that, you can't unsee it.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's why I haven't pre-ordered it, and I'm just going to wait for Mafex because I know Mafex will kill it. I love this wired cape. I don't know why McFarlane doesn't put a wire at the bottom because I hate that it does this.
Yeah,
it just has this straight drop down. But I mean, hey, at least it's a soft cape because look, the mechanic grease, the WD-40 version, it's just a cloth cape, but I mean it's a plastic cape. But the shield on the back is at least raised and sculpted. Same number of hands. These faces just irritate me so much.
Well, it's like 3 that are almost identical, and then
3 that are almost identical. One of them is repainted with the quote unquote angry eyes.
But he's not. But he's not like angry in the face. Like his face looks happy, but with the red eyes. Yeah.
And and we can get into that when we talk about the spoiler part of the movie. But maybe they were going for something else instead. But still, like they painted the eyes red, so it is definitely his powered up version and not the other thing. But yeah, I do think that for a well, I was going to say a $25 figure, but this one's not. This is $35 figure. For a mass market retail figure, I think McFarlane got the head pretty close.
Yeah,
the head looks great.
Really well done. Wish it was.
I kind of have the what is I guess known as like the angry face on. It's just more stern, and his brow is furrowed a little bit. I just think it looks really nice. It just makes him look a little more determined. I love that little curl hanging down that's not part of the faceplate. And then Crypto, like you said in your travel toy pickup, he's such a good boy.
Yeah, his legs don't move or anything. His head doesn't move, but it's like it doesn't matter. He just looks cool.
The ear up is perfect.
Oh yeah.
Crypto from the movie.
Yeah.
And I found this to be a little odd.
I would have liked a little bit of a wire. I would have liked a little bit of a wire on the Crypto cape.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have taken much to just wire the sides, but yeah.
And then here he is next to the Ultraman, who is decidedly larger.
He's a bulkier guy. No spoiler.
Yeah.
Bulkier dude.
Bulkier.
I had a certain expectation for that character, which we'll talk about when we get to the movie.
Right.
But
this was also funny too, because you guys will notice that your stand is black, right?
Right.
It's black on black, right? So with the with McFarlane's deluxe versions, they're supposed to be this. They're supposed to be silver.
Oh, where it gets the gotcha.
Yeah, but they didn't do it. But Ultraman came with the silver one. And it's like, how much did that cost you, Todd? Was this a half a penny? It cost you half a cent for that hit of paint? It's crazy. I don't think there's a better $30, $35 Superman figure out there right now.
No, I agree with you.
Especially from this movie. I think his build is nice. I think I think he's built approximately the way David Cornsweet was, and that was, I think that was the whole point that Gunn was going for, is that this is not a godlike being. They're trying to make him as human as possible.
Yeah.
I think that was achieved by, having his suit bunch up and not be so, be a little wrinkly and, not completely filled out. He's not, he is decidedly not Henry Cavill, in a suit. He looks like a regular dude. I think that's what they were going for, and I think they nailed it.
I agree.
I mean, he's still like, when you look at him, like, I know before the movie, they did like a thing where they're like had the guy that plays Lex Luthor, him, the guy that plays Lois Lane, like just kind of talk about like, thanks for coming and watching the movie and stuff. And you can tell like, dude he's big. Like he's a big dude. Like, I mean, yeah, there's going to be other people that are bigger than him, but he's not a small guy.
Yeah. I was watching like a video with him, about when he went in and did the fitting, like when he did the casting, and his the day, I think they had all of the short list of actors come in on the same day and do a Clark and Lois scene, and then a Superman in the suit scene, and then some wire work or whatever. And I think he said that when he went in, I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", and then when he went in, he was like 185, and they took all of his measurements. But then when he was offered the role, James Gunn said, but we're going to need you to gain about 30 or 40, and mainly in your chest, arms, and shoulders. And he's like, so when he went in for first day of filming, or first day of like I think fittings for the suit, he said I was like 235, and he's like, so I was almost 40 pounds bigger, so they had to change the suit so that he could actually fit in any bit. But yeah, I mean,
they didn't really show his musculature. There was no like gratuitous Henry Cavill, walking
right,
with his shirt all shredded off or gone or anything.
Right.
He was pretty much fully clothed or Supermaned up the entire.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he is a big dude when you see him compared to like other humans, like next to him, like you're talking about, like when they came on, before the movie, thanking us for coming to see it in the theater. But yeah, like, it's kind of hard to tell his frame and his stature when he's, singled out in the sky, in the air, But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for our unboxings, our pickups and our unboxings.
For this figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thumbs up.
I love it. I am very excited. And now I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. Now that I have them both, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Something we'll do.
Take them into your local auto mechanic shop, put it on the shelf. They'll never even notice it's there. No,
like that's that Valvoline 450.
Yeah, put him underneath your Vanguard, and he can.
There you go, changing the oil. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to the double down, guys. All right, so like we said in the intro, we are going to try and do this spoiler free at the very beginning. So if you want to, have us, if you want to hear our takes on the movie as best we can. Oh, Curtis got a question.
Yeah, just real quick. The other thing that we were going to be doing, where we gave you a list, is that not this? That's going to be another.
Oh, no. That's the stuff we were going to talk about in the spoilery section.
No, the other, we gave you our top 5 of something.
Oh, you're talking about our top 5 vehicles from our childhood?
Yes.
Yeah, that we'll save for another time.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because if we're going to get into spoilers,
that would be the whole double down is,
okay.
Yeah. We're gonna save that since Superman came out this week. We're gonna preempt that one and
Superman.
say that's kind of like an evergreen topic. We can talk about that anytime. But for the first part, we will give you guys a fair warning where we're going to shift from non-spoiler to spoiler. But for the first part of this, we're just going to kind of talk about the movie in very general terms, such as like the tone of the movie. I don't think the tone of the movie is any different than what you feel when you see the trailers. So we could talk about the tone. I don't think that's going to spoil anything. I think we can talk about the cast that they assembled to play these various characters. I think that's something that that's all been shown in the trailers. I don't think that's spoilery territory. And then maybe we could talk about a little bit about David Corn Sweat's Superman. That's where we have to be a little careful because you don't want to spoil anything. But maybe we could just talk about our thoughts on this guy being a relatively unknown actor, taking on such a monumental and iconic character. So if you guys can think of any other things that we could talk about that's non-spoilery.
Yeah, I got one. It's probably the most important one. When you go to the theater, what's your choice of theater candy?
Ooh.
Number one theater candy.
Peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms, okay.
Peanut M&Ms. I prefer something fruity and chewy. So whatever that is, but I'm a popcorn person, with no liquid butter. I don't like the oily butter on popcorn. That makes me sick. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Good and Plenty, man.
Hey, those are kind of like my favorite, which is like Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's are my favorite.
Those seem like they're hard to find though. Good and Plenty. Are they hard to find?
No, man. Walgreens has them. That's where I do all my movie theater shopping. Then you got to sneak it in.
I guess I've never looked for them, so
don't tell Jesse I snuck candy in. Jesse doesn't like when I tell him that. He thinks you're supposed to buy them for $5.
Very unethical. Very unethical.
I'll buy. Listen, they still get my money. I'm buying tickets. I'll get a drink, may even get popcorn. But if I get candy,
I'm
picking that up beforehand.
That's an
you're not gonna. Yeah, you're not going to charge me, $11 for a box of Milk Duds when I can get them for like
our soda, a large soda is like $7.
Yeah, I think I paid $18 for a popcorn and a soda, or a popcorn and a icy.
I mean, it's part of the experience.
But then dollar candy instead of $5.
I'm buying my own candy. I'm importing.
I'm importing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's
not
got
paying the tariff price.
Got like a bag that looks like a purse.
Well, that's nice. I wish my wife, she couldn't hold all of our candy. She's like, you're gonna have to hold this one in your pocket. I'm like, why are you bringing a purse if you can't hold all the candy?
Exactly. She's the mule
purse. Big enough. Well, it sounds like you need a bigger purse then. Like,
absolutely.
What I don't even understand what the purpose of a purse is if it's not to hold all of our candy going into the theater.
Absolutely.
Like, what other things do you need a purse for?
You don't need anything.
Yeah.
My wife don't care. She will hand out Walgreens candy all the way down the aisle. Like she will hand out kids like canned Coke.
Yeah, we had sodas and foil.
Man, my wife.
We were doing it up.
She's walking in with a duffel bag.
She's like, we're not buying nothing.
Let me check in my duffel bag. We were actually worried the other night because we were afraid that since it's an early preview movie, they might check bags for like recording whatever. We had brought snacks and all that stuff, so I was a little worried.
Yeah,
thankfully she's the mule. She, I don't know that lady. So I'm seeing Superman. So
you were gonna miss Superman because she gets kicked out for candy.
That lady.
You're like, what? You brought snacks? Get back to the car, woman.
Yeah, you're an embarrassment.
I'll tell you what the movie is like.
I've never even seen her before.
Yeah, I don't know that lady. Here's the keys.
That's funny.
Anyway, sorry, we went off on that.
When we got to our theater, they promptly announced, they're like, we're sorry, but the AC is out. And so throughout the entire theater, so they're like, we're sorry, but we're giving everybody complimentary drinks. And so we went up, like, so they're like, when we scan your ticket, just go straight to the, they had a table set up and a customer service, and they're like, get your drink. And it wasn't even like a large, it was like a medium. I'm like, do you know how many? Man, I feel that I got an icy. First of all, they didn't give me an icy lid. I got a regular flat cup lid, but I put icy in it. And I got 3 ices. Got 3 ices.
Huh.
So,
You know, you filled it up on the way out too.
oh yeah, for sure.
My
100%.
man. My man.
If you go to a late movie and you go in at like 10:40 and you come out, they've already got like the plastic locks down on the icy machine. I'm like, you guys are something else, man.
Yeah,
They're like,
that's
sorry,
not. No, that ain't
not
happening.
going to hit us up on the way out. All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about let's talk about the cast. Let's talk about the cast. If you guys want to start with Superman or leave him for the last, it doesn't really matter to me. But I did read that Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Lois Lane, and David Corn Sweat were paired up. I think they had narrowed it down to like 3 to 4 people, 3 to 4 pairs, and they paired everybody up with who they thought they would work well with. And they read a version of the interview scene that we have seen in the first big trailer, and that was how they read for the roles, and they were paired up. And so from the get-go, David and Rachel were put together. Now, I don't really know Rachel Brosnahan from anything. I haven't really seen her in anything.
I've never seen her, but they obviously had chemistry. I think they looked like they acted like a couple, even down to like, you know, I don't know if we should. No, that's a spoiler. Never mind. But they had good chemistry, I think. And at the end of the day,
I think I know what you're saying. Both when they agreed and when they disagreed, they had chemistry. It seemed very real and natural, even when they disagreed.
Even if it wasn't lovey-dovey, you know, it was realistic to a relationship. You know, the highs and lows. The ups and
it
downs.
didn't feel like 2 people that were meeting on a set for the first time.
Right.
You know, like it felt like, you know,
there was some heat there.
Yeah.
And
I really think that they worked very well together. But also, I mean, let's kind of like go through. Like, do you think that she was? How do you guys feel about her being Lois Lane? Did she fill those shoes?
I think she played the role of the inquisitive reporter very well.
Yeah.
I think, you know, she was tough when she needed to be, but still feminine. I you know, like everything, you know, as far as that, like somebody that's going after the story and going to do whatever it takes, like she definitely did that. And then the relationship between the 2 of them, I thought was really well done. So,
Right. She wasn't a damsel in distress.
No.
At all. And I
think she's
that. I thought that was.
I thought they went a little like just cosmetically. I thought they went a little dark with her hair. I think that it probably should have been a little bit more like a lighter brown, but that's very minor nitpick.
Yeah, that's just an aesthetic choice. Yeah. I kind of feel like she's probably I think she portrayed the journalist side of Lois Lane better than any iteration. I mean, you know, whether we're talking about the Christopher Reeve film with Margot Kidder, or we're talking about, you know, even all the way up through. I never watched Smallville, so like,
the Lois there was very good on the reporter side, but for movie wise, I think you're right. I think it's probably the best reporter Lois that we've gotten.
Yeah, she was very natural. I liked her a lot. Like, I don't know what else she's been in, but I would enjoy watching her in anything that she's in. She seems very committed as an actor.
The movie was so fast paced that I think we'll get a better sense of her in further adventures of the Superman movies.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of lulls. It was like, even if you didn't know anything about Superman and you didn't care about Superman, it's a good popcorn flick, if nothing else.
Right.
You just like stay interested the whole time. So,
how did you guys feel about the beginning? Because I felt like the beginning started really fast, and it kind of not.
Won't we save that for? Let's save that for the spoiler talk, because then we can get very specific as to like what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
As far as the rest of the cast, like I wasn't sure what to think about the other 3 superheroes that we've seen in the trailers and stuff, with the you know, Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific and Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl, I didn't really get much. Like she didn't have a whole lot of lines. She didn't have a whole lot of personality, but I thought Mr. Terrific was terrific. I knew nothing about Mr. Terrific, and I thought that actor killed it. And Nathan Fillion, as stupid as he looked in those like early, shots and stuff like that. Like as Guy Gardner, he killed that role. Like he crushed it. Yeah. I can't wait to see him more as Guy Gardner. Like if you've ever read Guy Gardner in the comics, like he absolutely slayed it. It was great. So.
I just recently saw an interview with him, and he said that when James approached him about it, because I don't think James Gunn has really ever made a movie without Nathan Fillion being in it. Like even all the way down to his very first film that I think James Gunn ever directed, which I think was Slither.
Yeah, Slither.
I mean, Nathan's in that movie, so like I don't think he's ever made a film without him. But when he got the call, he said, "Oh, we're doing the bowl cut." And James is like, "Yeah, we're doing the bowl cut for sure." And that was Nathan's call, like 100%. He's like, "Yeah, we're doing the bowl cut." Like, yeah, I'm wondering how much
and they address it in the film. It's not like it doesn't, yeah. So
yeah, that's a great line that she has when she addresses it. They just finished filming the Green Lantern TV series, the live action TV series. It's going to be on HBO Max, and so we're going to get a very good understanding of, I hope we get through that show because it's going to feature Hal Jordan, who's being played by Kyle Chandler, who I think is a perfect choice. I love the age of that. Like I hope they really explain to us in that show why, out of Hal Jordan or John Stewart, like why is it that it's Guy Gardner in this role. As far as Hawk Girl, I agree. She didn't have a lot. It was kind of like they needed a girl on the team, so they chose Hawk Girl. I don't think she'd have been my first choice, but I love the actress who played her. Isabella Merced is fantastic. I first saw her in Alien Romulus. She is the young lady who is
she's great. She's also in
Last of Us.
Yeah,
she is
really
so
good there.
Good.
Yeah.
She is a firecracker. She's real short. She's tiny, but she is a powerhouse actress. Like she
Hopefully
is.
They'll give her more to do.
Yeah, I don't think that it was anything that she was doing wrong. I think it was just there was so much going on, like Greg was saying, that I don't think there was enough left for kind of her to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult, excellent. I think that dude is always such a good actor.
Is that the Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor, yeah.
Did you guys know that
as we get into as we get into the spoiler stuff? I'll have some stuff on that, but
for sure.
Yeah.
Did you know he read for Superman? He was on the short list.
I had heard that. Yeah, that's kind of like a Cillian Murphy playing Batman.
Yeah, same sort of situation. He in a very funny interview with Nicholas Hoult recently, he said that he went in. Because they interviewed all of the or auditioned all of the Superman and Lois actors on the same day, so they were running into each other. So everybody knew who was up for the role. And Nicholas had already gone in and read a scene as Clark, read a scene as Superman, read a scene did the wires, put on the suit, and he came out and he said he saw David Corenswet for the very first time just sitting there. And he walked up to him and David stood up and said, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of yours." And he goes, "This dude's an inch taller than me. His hands are bigger than my hands. His voice is deeper than my voice." He's like, "This guy is about to get it. He's about to get it." And he's like, "And I'm going to be happy because this guy is Superman." And then when they ask, and then like David was like, I just adore Nicholas Hoult. He's like, he's such a fantastic actor. And he's like, when I found out he was going to be Lex Luthor, he was like, he's like, I knew the movie's going to be great. You never see Nicholas Hoult play a bad guy. And I think he did a bang up job as a bad guy.
He did good for what they asked him to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I also liked Perry and Jimmy Olsen. I thought they were great too. So
I agree. Jimmy was funny.
I wasn't so sure about the parents, like his Earth parents.
Yeah,
that didn't do it for me, but
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I think part of it is how they wrote it, but I think part of it is how it was acted too. Like I don't know, it just didn't. It didn't.
Yeah, especially Ma Kent, Martha, because, and we're not in spoiler territory yet, because the line that gets me the most with her that stands out to me is the line she says in the trailer. So I'm not spoiling anything, but when she's like, "I'll get your boots for you," like it's like it's like they went out and got some lady who was like from the mountains of Appalachia. Like this lady would have, it was way over the top for her. Now she's not.
I think one
I was
point
just going to
she
say
even-
she doesn't stand out to me in a bad way in the movie. She kind of blends into the background, but just aesthetically and like tonally, I would not have chosen her or that accent. It's a little too comical. It was a little over
and
the top. For
it's
me.
not really spoilery, but it's not in the trailers. But at one point, she refers to the TV as like the box, like on the box, and I'm like, but the movie is set like they don't say what year it is, but it's pretty much set in this time frame, right? Like,
yeah,
you're not finding anybody that's calling it the box, like,
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, it's so funny you bring that up because as soon as they go back inside and they show the TV where she's like, look what's on the box. My wife goes, that TV's not even square. And I go, I know.
Yeah.
But I did like her screaming into the cell phone because that is something that old people do.
They were kind of like, she was kind of like looking down at it with her hands, like
screaming into it.
I think they just kind of dialed up the Kansas kind of hick part a little bit too much. I think it could have been toned down just a bit. So
and then outside of that, I don't want to gloss over Perry. I love that actor. I can't remember his name, but he played Bunk in The Wire, and I love that guy. Like, he is just so good. Like, he's just known for
Blue Bloods too. He's really good at that.
He's been in a million different things.
Yeah, he's so good. I loved him. I think the rest of the, and then I even like the blonde Cat, and then Steve Lombard. Like, I thought they were great. Like, I'm just now reading Death of Superman, and Cat is in Death of Superman. Like,
Cat
she's
Grant?
she's one of the reporters that tries to help Lois throughout all the. Her and Lois have a nice relationship, so it was really cool to see them go back.
I thought the way that they did Jimmy was really good. Like, he's kind of, for some reason, ladies like him, but you don't get why. And he's got like these connections that somehow he can get information that he shouldn't be getting. And
it
made it interesting.
I think we all kind of feel like
him.
We know somebody like that. I think all of us know somebody just like that. You're like, I don't know how he gets these ladies, and I don't know how he gets these. So the cast was really great. Now, tonally, I think we can talk about tone a lot because I don't think the tone of this movie is any different. Watching it for 2 hours, 10 minutes, whatever the runtime is, I don't remember. 2 hours, 5 minutes, whatever it is, hour and 50, I don't remember. Whatever it is, it wasn't long enough. I could have had about 15 or 20 more minutes added to this film. Like you guys said, it moves along at a very fast pace. You got to keep up. But the tone,
you nailed it in the post that you did on Facebook. Just say what you said about this movie.
I just think that the movie is the most unapologetically live action comic book movie ever made. That's what, and I have to throw live action in there because when I think of comic book movies, I think people always seem to forget, like maybe it's not part of the conversation because we talk about live action, but I think the greatest comic book movies that have been made are the Across the Spider-Verse movies. That is literally like watching a comic book come to life on screen. And even the fact that it's animated, it's even closer to the source material, which is drawn.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your. I would say Incredibles was also
Incredibles,
not a comic book. Like, that to me was like the Fantastic Four, right there.
I've said that since Incredibles came out. It's the greatest Fantastic Four movie I've seen. It is incredible.
I saw somebody had said after watching the movie that they felt like this whole movie could have been an episode of Superman Animated Adventures, right?
Sure,
like the Superman animated series, and I could totally see that. It feels like it's in that world, in the comic book world, where some of the realism and stuff is toned down a bit. There is a little bit of humor. It's just, it's almost like when you go into the Looney Tunes world, right? And then they get like a bomb that blows up in their face, and then they just got the black smoke on it, right? And they're not really dead. It was kind of like that. Like in this movie, like I feel like, there's serious things, but it's not, serious. Like,
which is kind of refreshing because you see a lot of comic book movies these days getting real and gritty. And, you know what I mean? It's nice to have a movie that kind of embraces the fun, and it's at the daytime. It's not a lot of night shots, and it's
bright and colorful.
Colorful, yeah.
Well, I think a lot of comic book movies, I mean, it's just a tone thing. It's all tonal, right? Like I think the approach has been from 89 Batman through the X-Men films in the 2000s through the Marvel films. The approach has always been, what if these these superheroes existed in our world?
Right. And
James Gunn does not take that approach with this movie. He says, what if you guys, the audience, lived in the comic book world?
Yeah.
And so I think that is a massive shift. And having been somebody who was very high up in the creative decision making at Marvel and knows exactly what their plans were, what their plan was, what they are doing, and how everything is as grounded in reality as possible, I think James was the perfect person to come in and go, okay, I know what they're doing. It's kind of like when a football team hires the offensive coordinator from like a rival team, then they come over and they're like, okay, we know exactly what their offensive play is. So what's ours? Like, how are we going to combat that? And when you're setting up a whole brand new world, a new universe, like DC's trying to do here, you have to make yourself, you have to differentiate yourself from the competitor. And I think they nailed it. They just said, we're not concerned with bringing these guys into the real world. Like, this is what it's like to live in a world where superheroes have been around for 300 years. And like, we don't really care. We're not playing catch up.
I think the other thing that Gunn is going to do really well as we go forward is that I don't think they're all going to have the same tone either, right? Like, it doesn't mean because this one is not dark and gritty and is more hopeful and happy in that comic world.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you're not going to have other movies that aren't. I mean, they announced what the Clayface is going to be like a horror film, right?
It's the third movie coming out.
So I mean, there's going to be different types of movies that they're going to be doing, but I thought this one was that kind of movie that we're talking about that, you know, I don't know, just feels more. I kind of related to the 87 Masters movie, right? Like, one of the things that I just, as a Masters of the Universe fan, I just hated was William Stout, the guy that was doing the movie, said that Mattel wanted him to make the characters look like the toys. And he says, well, we don't have to make them look like the toys. The toys look goofy. And to me, that just breaks my heart, right? Like, if you've got somebody that's making that movie that doesn't respect the source material, that thinks that the source material looks goofy, then you get what we got in the 87 movie, right? And kind of the same thing that you're talking about through the Fox X-Men's and all this and that. Like, they're trying to take something that people love and then bring it into the real world and change it. And it's like, you don't have to change it, though. Like, the fact that you know, Deadpool Wolverine brought Wolverine out in the mustard yellow suit and everybody freaking lost their minds, shows you that you can do these colorful, outlandish costumes and all this kind of stuff. You can put Nathan Fillion in a bowl cut, and it's still, as long as you have good story and good acting, it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
What was exciting was that he respected the material. Like, he didn't try to change the wheel of Superman. He kept it. You know, there was some things in there that was like, whoa, that's kind of different.
I have that on my list that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but I think he understood the assignment. He respected the material and came out with something that is definitely an ode to fans, I think, and the material.
Well,
right before we go ahead.
I was just going to say, if Rob's watching this, you know, he's probably not going to be happy with what I'm going to say, but like, I'm sitting there right before the previews start, and I'm watching Legion's Lair, and Rob had popped on there. He was actually on the show, and he was talking about that he really liked the Cavill Snyder Superman better because he likes the dark, gritty Superman. And I just said, like, dark and gritty is not Superman. Like, you may like it. You can like whatever you want.
Right.
But that's not Superman. Like, that's not the source material. So if you like it, that's cool. That's all right. But this is for people that grew up with Superman in the comic books. Like, that's what this is.
Right.
Yeah. And I also, like, I too am a huge Zack Snyder fan, and I love the Snyderverse. I don't agree with the Snyder, I don't agree with, like, the fanatical, like, out of their mind Snyder fans that are already like
The
trying
death
to,
threat people.
yeah, I don't agree with those, and the people that are behind the fire James Gunn again hashtag. Like I'm not on board with them. I do love Henry Cavill as Superman. To me, he is my Superman. Like that, and this doesn't change things for me. Like David Corn Sweat is not now my Superman, but I would push back a little bit and say that I don't think that Zack Snyder's Man of Steel movie, which was the only Superman focused Superman movie that he made, was dark and gritty. I don't think that it was. I think it was very bright and colorful and hopeful. He does shoot in muted colors and dark scenes, but I don't think that as a character like Superman, Henry Cavill embodied somebody that believed in hope and in inspiration and wanted to be everything he could be. He got dragged into Batman's world that was dark and gritty, and I think that's where. And,
I mean, even in the first movie though, like there's a lot of collateral damage that he's not like. We'll get into it with this movie, but like,
sure,
Superman wants to save every living creature, right?
Yes.
like
and they made it a point
and
to show
in the
that,
Man
for
of
sure.
Steel, that's not what it was. And then he also kills Zod, right? Which is like so out of character that it's like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I still push back on that too because Christopher Reeve killed Zod in the first movie, didn't he? Didn't he pick him up and like throw him over into the like who did Christopher Reeve pick up and throw into the ice? Like down a little hole.
That was in the second movie that he had Zod and those guys, but I don't think it killed him. I'm not sure. I don't know. It might have because he lost his powers at that point. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the three got locked in the Phantom Zone, and that was at the end of 1, right? But like in 2, wasn't there? Yeah, there was somebody he picked up and threw. I'm like, I mean, come on, like, I don't know. That's a topic for another time. But I would argue that yes, I don't think in the Zack Snyder's movie, especially in the first one, Man of Steel, that he had fully realized what it meant to be Superman. I don't think he had fully figured that out, and I think he does figure that out by the end. But that's a different movie.
I would just real quick on that though. Like I feel like Henry Cavill looks the part, and I would have loved if Henry Cavill could have done a Superman movie by James Gunn. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Freaking amazing. Like,
for sure.
I don't think that anything that any problem that I have with the Snyder Superman has nothing to do with Cavill. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But
especially
I do feel
his
like they could have done
too.
a better job of scripting.
Like if you look at his family, like his grandfather was in the British Army, his father was in the British Army. He's got like 4 brothers. They're all in the British Army. He was the only one who didn't go into the army. He was the only one that said, "I want to be an actor. I want to do something different." And so he comes from like this like salt of the earth people who know what it's like to dedicate your life for an entire ideal, like for another group of people. And so like he embodies that, you know, and of course all of this I learned after he plays Superman. But that's why I say to me he's like the embodiment of Superman. Yes, Zack Snyder made some decisions, you know, in the movie that I would probably not have made, but I don't know.
He's a terrible Clark Kent, though. You can't look at Cavill as Clark Kent and go like, "Oh, he's a big dopey reporter." Come on, he's still Henry Cavill. Like he's still
look. And I know that that's also the same. That's also the same complaint that people levy against Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, who was my favorite Spider-Man. Is they were like, he was too cute and too handsome and too cool to be Peter Parker. Yeah, I know, but still, like he was a perfect Spider-Man. And at the end of the day, do I want to see Peter Parker or do I want to see Spider-Man? You know,
and Andrew Garfield is the most hilarious Spider-Man for sure. Like his little like one-liners and stuff are like straight out of the comic books. Like it is just like perfect.
Yeah, I love that Spider-Man. That was a great version.
Anyway,
and look, maybe one day. I also think he's also the most accomplished actor who's ever played Spider-Man as well.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Anyway, one more thing before we jump into the spoiler part. Just because I want to give people their money's worth here and make sure that we're not, you know, leaving anything on the table. Do we want to talk about how, if we can do this in a non-spoilery way, do we want to talk about like how relatable David Corn Sweat's or James Gunn's Superman is to the average everyday person? Because one of the things that could be said, you know, for Man of Steel is that you can't look at Henry Cavill's Superman and go, I could see myself doing that. You know, you can't, because like you look at him and you're like, that dude is a Greek god. That is a specimen of a human being.
Yeah.
But there were decisions made in this movie that decide, like we were talking about the suit. He's not a big dude. The suit doesn't fit him well. It's not a muscle suit underneath there. It bunches up and looks a little loose in places. Like he is not the smartest man in the room. He doesn't have all of the answers. Like
he doesn't necessarily think through all of the reactions or the repercussions of his decision. Like he just thinks something's right or something's wrong and I'm going to act, and it may have other consequences that he doesn't consider. And that's human.
Right.
Like that's like the most human thing, right?
Young too. He's young.
Yeah.
That's why I like this also, is that they kind of picked him at a time where he's just new to what's going on and not realizing repercussions of his choices, and he's learning his place, which is a unique place in the community of the world. So he's kind of
trying to do good, but what does that look like? What is good? What is good?
Right.
Right.
And what should I do? What's ethical? What's not ethical? What and that's something that they touched on in Man of Steel also, is like, what right do you have to react to things in the world? Who are you to make these decisions? So that kind of carried over into this movie as well, which I think it should. It's they're.
I found him very relatable, like, with everything that's going on in the world today. And I beg of you, do not ever wander onto my Facebook page. But if you, I know how I feel about things. But at a time when we need hope and we need to see some light at the end of the tunnel, when we need to be uplifted, I found myself like in this movie, like, when you're kind of going through the struggle that Superman finds himself in, when he's somebody who's choosing to be positive, he's choosing to try to do the right thing every day, and how hard that is for him to do it. In a world that's telling him, don't do this, don't choose the right thing. You can't choose the right thing every day. It's impossible. Stop doing it. Even Lois tells him, like, you can't do this. Like I even found myself relating to that and being like, oh my God, like in that small way, in that small little way, I could be like Superman. Like I see that, like I've never looked at Superman as like, that's somebody that I could be. Like there's a line in Zack Snyder's Superman, when his dad, Russell Crowe, is talking to him, he says, you're going to give them something to aspire to be. You're going to give them hope. Like you're going to give them, you're going to give them something, humanity, something to aim for, to be like an ideal, like, and I've never felt that, but I did feel that in this movie. I did feel like, man, in a small way, I guess I could be if I chose those, if I made those decisions that he makes every day. So
I think
I found him very relatable.
The actor definitely epitomized that innocence, that earnestness. He believes in people. He believes the good in people. He's trusting. Like I
to
think
a fault.
The actor, this actor was really good at showing that kind of vulnerability, which I think is huge in this movie.
And the frustration and the anger. That was the other thing too. Like, like I don't know if it was DC or whatever that made this mandate to not show, an angry face on Superman. We want him to be smiling and friendly and hopeful. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the figure with McFarlane, but like in the movie, like he gets mad, he gets angry, like he gets very angry, at different things at different times, and different levels of anger. And like, I love that about him. He is like, he's faulty. Like he's not a god. And I thought
he's human.
Yeah, he's very human. And he makes that plea towards
and you see that early with his discussion with Lois,
right.
That interview, I think that interview is huge in the movie. Like, it's saying a lot.
It's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah, it's saying a lot. It's showing, it's showing their relationship and how it could be fragile.
I could have watched 2 hours of that interview.
But yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that could have been
Yeah.
like a whatever, a 60 minutes, whatever.
I'm trying to remember where I heard this or who I heard talking about it. I'm sure it was a video that I watched, but said that there's actually 3 sides to Superman. So everybody thinks there's 2. There's Superman and then there's Clark Kent. He's either one or the other. But then, man, it was either David Cornsweet or it was James Gunn who said this in an interview. He said, but there's actually a 3rd side of Superman, and that is when he's in the room with somebody who knows who he is. Then he's kind of like in the middle. He is this being that exists both as Clark and as Superman.
I
at
think
the
he's a
same
culmination
time.
of both.
Right. But
he's
he
the
can't
farm
fully
boy.
be either one of those with most people. But there's 3 people. There's like his mom and dad and then Lois, right? Where like he can be this sort of amalgam of the 2. And he's and that's one of the things I think that makes that scene so perfect.
And that's where you see more of the frustration coming out too, when he's that kind of in between, right? Because he's kind of trying to justify his decisions, his actions, and that kind of thing. And I'll I know we're getting ready to get into spoiler stuff, but Lois doesn't pull any punches either. Like she goes at him. Like it's not a cream puff. Hey, we both work for the same paper and we're seeing each other and we're just gonna beat the other newspapers by having an interview and it's just gonna be a bunch of BS. Like it was. She's hitting him with the hard stuff. So
and she has to remind him too, because he again is being naive and saying, "Oh, well, this is my girlfriend. She's not going to be so hard on me." But no, she doesn't know. She's not dating Superman. She's dating Clark Kent, right? So she's not going to be. She's going to be hard on him, and she even has to remind him. Like she even says, "Did you think about that, Superman?" Like to get him to understand. Like you're answering questions like you're Clark, and like we're in a relationship, but
Really
right now we're on the record. Yeah, that's a well done scene.
And
that's the scene that all of the actors, both for Clark and Lois, they all read that scene.
I mean, it's
I
a
wonder
vital
if
scene.
it's so vital to get
the
that
fact
balance.
that was one of the deciding factors, like that Gunn's like he knew that scene was important enough that he wanted to see that for the people that were auditioning.
Right.
Tells me everything that I need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the heart of the film is that part right there. Because well, I don't want to get into the spoilers yet.
Yeah.
But.
All right. Well, let's do that. Let's jump whole hog into the spoilers. So we're going to give you guys full warning. We are now in spoiler mode at 1 hour and 37 minutes. We are in full blown spoiler mode. So if you stick around after this, you're sticking around of your own accord. And so we're just going to give you guys a few minutes to say your goodbyes. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Thanks for tuning in and watching us today on the show. We're going to go ahead and give you guys a sad farewell. We hate to see you leave, but go see the movie and then come back and pick up the last 30 minutes and watch us dive into it, because we're about to get our fork and our knife and our napkin and our shirt, and we're going to dive into it because
keep watching.
Yeah, keep right on watching. So I want to jump right into the very first thing. I was going to try to jump into this whole idea of Gunn's alumni. We kind of see some of the same characters showing up from time to time. We talked about Nathan Fillion, but we get to see some other alums like Bradley Cooper shows up as his dad. I was totally blown away by that. Didn't know that was coming. For those who don't know, does the voice of Rocket in the Guardians movies. And then we also saw his brother, who is always in his movies, comes in as Lord.
Max Lord.
Maxwell Lord.
Who is Max Lord in the?
So, do you remember Did you watch the second Superman movie, Wonder Woman? Or I'm sorry, the second Wonder Woman movie, Wonder Woman 84, with Pedro Pascal. Yeah. He played Maxwell Lord.
Oh, okay.
So he's this very wealthy, very influential character in the DC world that's got a lot of money, power, influence. Think Trump, that kind of billionaire with
he's
the
funding
money.
The Justice Gang.
But apparently he is in this film. He is funding the Justice League. Actually, I read this. Their actual name is the Justice League International. So if you actually look at their chest uniform, it is a J with an I in the middle, and then an L, that looks kind of like a G. But
only those two. Only only guy and hot girl wore that symbol, though, right?
Yeah, I guess Mr. Terrific's too cool. He's like, I'm not.
He
changing
voted
my
against
coat.
it. Yeah.
I freaking loved him in this movie.
He was great.
Like I kind of knew who he was.
Yeah, he's been in a couple things I've seen him in
This
as well.
guy,
Yeah, I've seen the actor before, and he's always been good, but this was next level good.
He's like,
So,
I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific. I'm like, man,
I will just, and you know, it might be a spoiler for later down the road. I don't know, but that Maxwell Lord. So when they got into, I don't know if you remember Infinite Crisis, they had a one-off that was called Countdown to Infinite Crisis, which is where Blue Beetle gets killed. And it turns out that Maxwell Lord he was working with the Justice League and stuff, and he basically turned against them. And like,
I love
he found out that Batman had this whole separate thing to like fight all the superheroes. Like he had something that would fight against all their contingency against all their weaknesses and stuff, and basically took control of it and turned it against them. And it was just a whole thing. So he's one of those guys that, like, you know, is kind of maybe a good guy, but really he's not. He's a real bad guy.
He's kind of out for himself. You know, yeah. I'm sure he'll come back
He
around.
makes it as if he's a good guy.
So, the name.
So even though he was only on screen for like 2 seconds in this movie, that could be a reoccurring role that you know he could turn out to be a bad guy in another film here. So.
Yeah, and then another alum that we saw was John Cena's Peacemaker making an appearance on the show, which was great. My wife loved that.
He was talking crap about Superman.
Yeah,
I never liked that guy.
Jealous because I mean, you know, I'm more ripped than he is. So,
but you know, I love the fact that they kept cutting to that the anchor and that TV show, because that really reminded me a lot of. I mean, of course, how the media, the news media, social media plays a lot into the film and the storyline of this movie, but it also reminded me a lot of The Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller, because remember that entire comic is told like through the news, like little news clips, the anchors, the news broadcasts, the TVs, like you see the same anchors like arguing against something, then later you see them arguing for it because they're just
you're getting the news just like the citizens of that. Yeah,
and I really like that. It made me feel like The Dark Knight Returns a lot when they kept cutting to that guy. I can't remember his name, but the kids in the hall
had a comment about media and journalism with the monkeys. How the monkeys are like, you know, typing, you know, like
just banging away. Hashtag super shit.
For everything he's done, people have attacked him.
So, I thought that was really interesting to see. I don't know that any other. I mean, we've had a lot of superhero movies, but I don't know any superhero movies addressed it. Like, it's hard to be a celebrity right now, right? Like, whether it's an athlete, an actor or actress, a singer, whatever. Like, there is everything that you do. Somebody's got a cell phone out. They're filming it. Somebody's posting about it. People are talking. They're hashtagging. They're like, everything you do is scrutinized to such a level that, like, if you were a superhero in this day and age, it would be like brutal, man. It would be like you wouldn't be able to go on social media, like, because it would be just terrible. And so to see him kind of struggling with that, and they kind of joke about it and stuff, and like the hashtag super shit, you know, which I thought was great. But it's like it would be like, I can't even imagine, man. It would just be awful. Like, I know like athletes, they talk about like they can't go out like a normal person would to like a club, because if they walk into a club, people see them and they immediately see dollar signs, right? And they try to start a fight with them just so that they can, you know, have a lawsuit against them and make money. Like, it's that kind of thing that they were playing off of, and I thought that was really well done. So, and then
nice,
you know,
dig.
take it to the extreme, and then have all these fucking monkeys, you know,
typing away.
Yeah,
you know, I've got like a billion monkeys in a billion galaxies typing away until you know.
That's totally James Gunn, though. Like,
you
know, people are brainless on social media.
Well, I mean, I also think it was like his personal attack on that as well. I mean, because I mean, look how many times he's been, you know, canceled and fired, and then come back, and then exactly. I mean, he's lived that very thing, you know, and you know, for making like very poor taste jokes in his 20s, you know, and he's like, I was a I was a fucking idiot. Like I was an idiot. I did stupid shit. I did things
We've all
outrageous to
done
get
that,
reactions.
you know? Yeah.
Like I was dumb. I wasn't a grown man who had experienced loss or whatever, or knew what it was to like love somebody or care or have compassion. I was a moron. And it's like people have to be able to be allowed to like, learn and grow. Yeah,
and get better.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really
Superman.
good.
Like Superman is making decisions to stop wars based off of his own feeling and his own, what he feels is right.
I have to react now. Like I have to do something in this moment.
Dude, when he goes, people were going to die, and he like yells, is like, yeah.
He's like, it's like he can't stop and worry about what's the political,
or the
ramifications.
Going through all the levels of bureaucracy in order to,
he's like, I have to act now in the moment,
right?
And sometimes you can't.
The voice of reason or the voice of,
I think more devil's advocate than anything. I don't know that he even agrees with what she's saying. Yeah,
how is he going to be perceived by making these choices, and who has picked you to be the person to decide? Like these are all valid questions.
Kind of rolling back a little bit. What did you guys think about the way that they started the movie, where they were like,
I was going to say,
like
because I wrote down the very
ago.
first thing that I wrote down was parents' message, because that's one of the very first things that happens in the film. So I was, going to take us back to the beginning, but Greg had already brought it up. Like, so like the movie kicks off and it's like 3 centuries metahumans have been around, 30 years ago, an alien crash landed on Earth,
3 years ago, he comes out to the world.
3 years ago, he comes up to the world. 3 months ago, like this campaign started, like he's introducing himself to the world as who he is and what he's here to do. 30 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago, like
he just got hammer of the first time. Yeah.
He just lost his first battle. So it's not like a Star Wars opening crawl, but it's pretty close.
Right.
Well, and then we see that the thing that we saw from the trailer where he kind of lands in the snow and he's all beaten up. And I don't know about you guys. I thought that was going to be like way late in the movie.
Right.
I didn't think that's how we're like the first time we see Superman is he's beaten and bloodied and in the ice. Like I was like, oh, so this is how we're starting.
So do you think that them showing that like a month or two ago, did that ruin it a little bit?
No, because I think like Curtis, I think anybody who saw that just automatically assumes we're going to see the 5 minutes before that. Like we're going to see what happened. Right? They're not going to not show us what happened. Right. But I think it was extremely intentional on Gunn's part to say the first moment you see him on screen, he's bloodied, beat, and he's been defeated. Like from the get-go, this is not a guy that's on top of his game. Again, to make him more relatable, when you meet him, he just got defeated. Like
I like the fact that we didn't go through a whole nother origin story again. Yes. I like that it hit the ground running. Like this isn't, there was not, you didn't have to do like this montage or flashback or whatever. They just kind of picked up where we're at in the story. I liked all that part of it. To Greg's question about like, did that kind of ruin and stuff? Man, I really felt like more than the trailers, the toys that have come out, like gave you every single character, every monster, there was no surprises. Like there was a great story to be had. I really enjoyed the movie, but there were no characters that we haven't already seen in toy form that showed up. And that was kind of disappointing. Like I was like save something, there was like nothing saved as far as, people in the movie or whatever. That was disappointing.
Yeah, I do have a third wave of figures with a question mark down here. Like, I think we can definitely talk about that at the end. Will we see a third wave? And I do kind of feel like we've had 2 waves of figures. So we had the first wave of figures that came out that was like your standard McFarlane that had Dirty Superman. Who else? Metamorpho, and there was one more.
Mr. Terrific.
No, he's in the theatrical, and then there was the deluxe versions that came out.
Yeah.
So we got.
I was talking more the Spin Master stuff. The Spin Master stuff has had everything. Like you had the kaiju, you had everything.
We can show this because I'm going to assume that everybody like me thought this was a spoiler. When we saw this, we see Lex Luthor in the power suit, and it's purple and it's green, and this never happens in the movie. He never shows up.
Trunks. I think his shorts are so stupid.
Oh yeah. We don't need
Shorts
this.
are
Like,
stupid.
never needed to do that at all. But yeah, I mean, this never happened. I mean, the power suits are in the movie. They're his own robotic army. They're called the Raptors. They're there, but he never wears the suit. So I kept thinking when I saw this in Target, well, that was stupid. Thanks for spoiling the movie for me.
There's slime
included. But yeah, that turns out to not be a spoiler because that never happened. But yeah, let's kick things off. Like at the beginning, the way I have explained to some of my friends, because like I've had friends that have seen it and they're like, I didn't like the way it started like that. And I'm like, I loved it. And the reason that I love it is because if you can imagine being a kid again, right? And you've walked into your local bookstore or gas station or grocery store, wherever you used to get your comics when you were a kid. Rarely did we ever walk into a comic book store. Like I remember my mom buying me comics off the rack in the grocery store well before she ever took me to a comic book store. And my mom was the first person to ever take me to a comic book store as a kid. And so if you remember, like you would go into the store, you'd pull a Superman, let's just say Superman, because that's what we're talking about, or insert your favorite comic here. You would pull your favorite comic off the rack, and it may be like Superman 197. Now, maybe you didn't read 196. Maybe you did read 195. You know, maybe you have some idea what happened, but you didn't. You just pull it off the rack and you open it up, and Superman's laying all bloody. You're like, what? What happened? I totally missed what happened in the last episode. And then sometimes you'd get that little editor's note that was like, last issue, Superman faced off against the kaiju monster, and he got defeated, and now he's laying broken in Metropolis. Let's see what unfolds. And that's how the movie is. The movie, like one of the things that I love about it is I think that it's so comic booky is that I think Gunn understands. We've now had 10 plus years of Marvel movies, right? Not counting all the superhero movies that came out before it, but just Marvel movies. We've had it for 10 years. Audiences are savvy enough to know that when you've bought your movie ticket, it's expensive enough that when you're sitting down, you know what type of movie you're in for. You know the experience you're about to have. And so, like, I think he's like, audiences are savvy enough to where, like, we don't need to show Peter Parker's origin again. We don't need to show Bruce Wayne's origin again. We don't need to show Superman coming to Earth. We all get it. There's like at least 3 superheroes that we know how they were created. And we don't need to rehash that. So let's just hit the ground running. You guys know what you're here for. We're here for a comic book movie with Superman, and we've already shown you he's punching a kaiju. So let's just get to it. And like there's like, it's unapologetic. Superman, comic book, cartoons. Here we go. And I love the way it opened. I thought it was brilliant. But I also come from Star Wars, where when you're watching the Clone Wars, they would do that after every 2 episodes. Like there was no
they had like the 1960s like news reporter last time on Clone Wars.
There was no segue. Yeah. Like the shows, like every 2 to 3 episodes would connect, but then there'd be a break, and then next week you would tune in, and it'd be like, trouble on Mustafar.
Like, I love that guy.
I did too. Yeah, I love that.
You know, and it's like I don't need to know how we got there. It was
weird but great. Yeah.
I don't need to know like what led up to that. Here we are. We're on Mustafar.
I wouldn't have been upset about a little montage just showing kind of like what's happened over the past 3 years of him being Superman. Just a little something, but you know, I wasn't upset about it.
I get the beginning, and I accept Mark's opinion on it being like, you know, you're opening a comic book. Like I didn't think of it that way.
That's a great way to look at it.
The beginning was kind of jarring. Like it's like kind of like watching Dune for the first time. You're like, oh, I'm in a whole new world. Like I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. There's super robots. There's, you know, like you're instantly transported into this world that James Gunn created. And it's like, okay, I need a second to absorb all this, but that's not where the story starts. And I get that. And I think it's important with how it was jarring for me, but I accept it because it set the tone for the rest of the movie. Because the rest of the movie was like breakneck pace, which was great. I'm glad it didn't really stop and give me a breath. It was all boom, 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 boom. But it was good.
I'm with you as far as it was being jarring, and I wasn't expecting it. And I've seen, you know, I'm in some groups with a bunch of the really hardcore Schneider guys, and they're like, you know, well, this Superman isn't strong. He's weak. He gets his butt kicked. You know, this and that. And thinking back on it, like Henry Cavill never felt weak. Like he always felt like he was the strongest guy around, right? And I think this did set a tone. Like it set a tone that like, hey, this guy isn't invulnerable, right? Like this guy,
very vulnerable.
like he can still get hurt. He can get hurt physically. He can get hurt emotionally. Like it set the tone that this guy, and I think it was a theme, and you hear it at the end when he's talking to Lex, like he is human, right? Like he may not have been born on Earth, but this dude is the most human guy around. And I think that's what that beginning set was like, showing him down, showing him beaten. Like it's like, you know, it set a tone that initially I didn't like, because I was like, oh, here we go. Snyderverse people are gonna be all like, look, this guy is all beaten and bloody and bruised. Like this is the Superman you guys wanted, you know.
Oh, he flinched. He flinched.
Yeah.
I'm like, who cares?
But I think
I did see an interview.
A great tone.
With,
they like the whole rest of the movie. You're like, I want to see who this guy is, you know, and how he fights through this. So
I saw an interview. I don't remember if it was David or James, but one of them said that they made the decision in this film that this Superman is not invulnerable. He could die in a battle. He could easily die in a battle. It would take a lot, but he could die. Also, he is not infinitely strong. That he does have limits, that he doesn't realize what those limits are yet. And he was like, you know, there is a scene where we have him holding up an entire building, you know, but he builds up to that. Before that, he had to hold up an entire kaiju, right? And so they're like, you know, we made it a point to where, yeah, he can hold up an entire building, but it takes every single thing he has to do that. And then you have to give him some time to recover, because he is not infinitely strong. And he's not, because, and I agree with this. If you make a character too all powerful, then there are no stakes. Like if Superman cannot die, if he cannot,
he's a god at that point.
If he is a god, then there are no stakes for him whatsoever. Just like I remember a long time ago, it was so poignant. My wife said, I think we were watching like the second or third, maybe it was the third Matrix film, where Neo is so godlike that when all of they called it the Burly Brawl, when like the 1,000 like Agent Smiths are fighting him and he's just dispatching each one right after another. She's like, I no longer feel like Neo's going to get hurt.
There's no tension.
Because he's just going to defeat them all. So yeah, it looks cool, but there's no tension. And she was right, because I mean, you can't have a powerful that's all godlike, because there are no stakes, you know, like there are things you could do to put him in a moral jeopardy, like making Lois, like putting her in danger, or his family or whatever. And we see that, you know, Lex says, you know, I'll go after that journalist. I'll go after your parents. Like I'll, you know, whatever.
The guy that helped him out of the crater or whatever, you know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
That he barely even knew.
I didn't really go in completely blind. They did release this. This is like a kid's book. It came out, and it is a prequel to the movie. It picks up like maybe a week or two before the events of the film, 3 weeks maybe, or something like that. And it shows Metallo. The first way that Lex Luthor tries to defeat Superman is with Metallo. He picks the guy who's the assassin to try to shoot him with a kryptonite bullet, and that doesn't work. So that guy gets destroyed. And then by a robot, an automaton, and then he fuses that guy's brain into the robotic body, and then they make Metallo. And in this book, it's not the first time that the people of Metropolis actually it is the very first time the people in Metropolis see Superman. He goes in and saves some people at a toy factory, and that was their first foray into seeing a superhero. And then he also meets the Justice League for the first time in the same three characters, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, and Guy Gardner. So I mean,
you talking about the Justice Gang?
The Justice Gang, yeah, he does meet them in this book. Nah, not Justice League.
Curtis, you had some thoughts on Nicholas Hoult as Lex before we go?
I think he did a great job. There were two parts that I wish they would have done differently. The first one is Lex Luthor. I thought, to me, I always think Lex Luthor is the best when he's written as if he really thinks that he's doing good, right? He cares about the human race. He cares about Earth, and that he feels like what he is doing is protecting humans. I felt like this, the way they wrote this Lex Luthor, it was really all about himself. Like it was all, how he can profit, how he can, he's upset, he wants to get rid of this guy, all this and that. But I didn't feel that, I think you're a threat to human race and I'm trying to protect everybody. I'm truly looking out for everybody. I'm the hero of the story. I didn't get that from this character. So that part kind of disappointed me a bit. I felt like he did a great job. There was a lot of emotion, the way that he did the performance, but the way that the role was written, I just wasn't a fan of. And then the other part that I was kind of disappointed with was Superman's Kryptonian parents, like that message, the way that it finished off.
That was interesting.
That I didn't like.
Yeah, I kept thinking that we were going to go
it.
back to it, and they were going to find out that she messed with it and it was wrong.
Yeah.
But no, they leave it as no. You go and subjugate them. And I'm like,
yeah, I like when he's got a set of loving parents that send him away for his own good to a planet where they think he can do good, and then he finds another set of loving parents that raise him as a human, and he kind of goes from there. So that twist on it, I wasn't super happy with either.
That's a big twist.
It's a huge one. Yeah.
It is a big twist because at the end, when the movie's literally going off and he goes, well, would you like me to put your parents on, sir? And he goes, yeah, I'd like that. And then he puts it on. You think, oh, now they're going to play the rest of the message. And it's actually not going to be that, and that they lied and they messed with it. But then they put on his Earth parents. And I was like, guys, come on. Are you trying to make me cry? Like, that was a good moment. And maybe doing that allows you to have that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, look, before it gets too late, because I know it is getting kind of late, I got a lot of things on my list to go through still. Let's just lightning round it. Let's just not have a huge discussion. We'll just lightning round and we'll give our quick thoughts on there. One of the things I wrote down was not a lot of Clark Kent. Besides the argument where he's bouncing around between Clark and third person and Superman, we get one scene of Clark. That's it. Like, how did you guys feel about that?
The movie is moving so fast that there's not a lot of time for, like what Curtis is saying with Lex. You can't build that whole Thanos explanation of why, like you only have a little bit of exposition for each character. So I think, Clark is one of the things that gets left out because it's basically a Superman, story. I think, they could do a Clark Kent story, which I think would be great. But he's definitely missing in the movie for sure.
I felt like they did a really good job of kind of incorporating the two, Clark Kent and Superman, into one, to where you see moments of Clark as he's Superman. So like in the kaiju fight where like they're just like, and he's like, come on, like guys, like there's got to be a better way. Like, like he really wants to save this thing. Yeah. And like they're just going balls to the wall. Or even like, when he
girls like hitting him in the eyeball.
Yeah, he's like a bat.
Like when he can't find Crypto and he kind of shows back up at the apartment and he's all exhausted and he's talking to Lois and stuff. Like there were moments like that where it's like, okay, this is Clark Kent talking, even though he's still dressed as Superman. So I did feel like they did some of that, but I wouldn't have minded some more Clark Kent.
I think he's, like you said, though, I think there's not a big difference between Clark and Superman in this. You know what I mean? Like Batman is obviously a persona. I mean, Bruce Wayne is a persona. Batman is the real Wayne. In this, I think it's almost like, this is what you get. Like he is this farm boy.
Yeah, he's going to be that same person either way.
Right. He can't really hide who he is,
He can hide who he is because he has on hypno glasses.
Now, was that a joke or was that real, you think? I thought it was a joke.
I think it's real.
I think it's something that I've heard about it in the comics.
I've never heard of it.
I think that it's something that the other like heroes and stuff maybe think is real, but I don't think it's real. I did read that one of the comic book runs that very much inspired this movie was Birthright. I don't know if you guys have ever read Birthright. Birthright is amazing. Superman Birthright, it's really good. I think it's only like 4 issues, so it's really easy to get through. But in Birthright, one of the cool things they did is Superman talks about how his glasses are made of a certain crystal from his ship,
and it de-intensifies the bright blue of his eyes. So with his glasses off, his eyes are piercing blue. People know them, they recognize them, they see them. It's one of the traits that makes Superman. But the glasses, he cut the lenses from this crystal to where it mutes the color of his eyes to where people look at his eyes and go, oh, he just has blue eyes.
So it doesn't necessarily hypnotize people, but
No.
it does change the look more than just a pair of glasses.
Yeah. All right. So we got hypno glasses. Okay.
Although I don't know that I would recognize Mark without his glasses. They're so iconic.
I know. Hey, you
Like,
guys want to see?
Whoa,
where did
I don't think I've ever seen where
who's
did
this guy?
Mark go? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like when I take my glasses off, I have like little dot eyes. That's how I feel. Okay. I think I know the answer for some of you guys, but for you, outside of Superman, did one particular character steal the show?
I think Guy Gardner. Like the fight on the field where the middle fingers start popping up out of everywhere and stuff. And just the way that like the whole way that he acts and interacts with the other Justice Gang members and stuff. Like, yeah.
Very overpowered, but in a
so
good
great.
way. I don't think it was
Yeah.
bad, but yeah, very, very powerful. So I'm
Greg, what about you? I think I know your answer.
Mr. Terrific, totally. Like I thought
Another
he
great
was,
pick.
I thought he was so cool. I loved
He
his
was great.
costume. I loved the actor that played him, like his personality. Like I'm awesome, I'm great, but you know, and just I don't know. I don't really know him a lot, but man, he just was so good in
That
this.
fight scene where he puts the bubble over Lois and then fights over, dude.
That little musical montage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was great.
That was like
for
a
me, it's
Guardians
gotta
of the
be-
Galaxy fight right there.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
for me, it's got to be Crypto. I think Crypto stole the show. Like I was.
Crypto
in love.
was
like
strong. Crypto was
Yeah.
strong. Yeah, because I remember Curtis saying like, "Why would we need Crypto?" Like, not sure about that. And
I think it's another way to make him human. It's
But
another way
yes.
to humanize him because everybody knows what it's like to have a dog.
And
that
it just
exists.
sets that this is in a comic book world, right? Like, don't take this
Yeah.
all too seriously. You know?
Yeah, I remember before DC made the first Wonder Woman movie, there was a meme that was going around that was like, DC can't make a Wonder Woman movie. Meanwhile, Marvel has a raccoon shooting a machine gun. And I remember thinking, yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. Like DC can't get their act together. And meanwhile, they've got a raccoon shooting a firearm. So yeah, they've got a super dog. Real quick, Ultraman. Now, I know that in the comics, Ultraman has had two different sort of like origin stories, or he's kind of been played two different ways. I think one was like not a clone of Clark or clone of Superman. One was when they just walk right in the building at the very beginning of the movie. I was like, oh, they're totally going clone of Superman because that's why he got in. Like from the get go, I was like, that's got to be what's going on.
In most of the iterations of the comic, Ultraman is a Superman from an alternate world.
Right.
So that would work too without being a clone,
Right.
right? Like if he is the same. But the other thing is that Ultraman's weakness is the sun. Like a yellow sun is his weakness, which is why he has to be covered head to toe. That's not what
I didn't
so
know
that's
that.
what I thought was going on because like he's covered head to toe, like because of the yellow sun. And I honestly thought they were going to pull the mask off. I thought it was going to be Henry Cavill. Like I thought that was going to be the giant freaking
Dude,
blur.
that would have been the shit.
And you like we even talked about like he looked a little bit bigger in some of the pictures and stuff. I thought it was going to
He's
be like
beefy.
pulls off the mask, Henry Cavill, alternate dimension Superman.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I honestly don't think that would have been, the best decision. I don't think. I think. I think. Yeah, I think. Well, here's why I don't think that would have been a good idea. Is I heard those rumors as well. I also don't think that. I don't think Henry would have done it. I don't think he would have done it. I don't think James would have asked him. I think it's in poor taste to have asked him to do that. To be a lesser version of the character that you're known for. But also, I think at that moment it breaks that fourth wall and it pulls you out of the movie at a time when you need to be invested into that movie more than anything else. So like, while I appreciated it in Wolverine and Deadpool, him being Wolverine, I loved
I was
it.
just
I
thinking
thought
about
that was
that.
great. That was awesome. It's like, those asshats down the street are not going to use you right, so we will. Like I love that. I thought that was great. But yeah, I just think that would have been like the worst thing. It would have just pulled you right out of that
if
moment.
you made him a badass Superman from an alternate dimension, this Ultraman, rather than a clone that is kind of like they made it up like this guy's like stupid, right? Like he can't really do anything without Lex telling him what to do. Like, I don't know. That kind of ruined it for me.
I think also real quick that, I think Marvel does the same thing, but these superhero movies, they always pick like these obscure or like little known villains to fight. Like it's almost like they're saving the big guns for the next movie or the next movie. It's like, let's see Brainiac and Lex Luthor together. You know, let's see, instead of having the Engineer and Ultraman, who I didn't know who either one was. I'd never heard of either one.
Yeah, me either. But,
like, instead of having these obscure villains, throw out some big guns. You know, let's do it right.
I'm gonna always argue that I think DC's got better villains than Marvel does anyway, comic book wise. Now, Marvel's got some bangers. Don't get me wrong. You know, Galactus, Thanos, Doctor Doom, but I think their benches, it's shallow. It's a shallow bench. I just think DC has a better roster of villains. That's just me. That's just my own personal thing. Real quick, we're gonna lightning round all the rest of these. Favorite moment? Is there a favorite movie? Do you have a favorite moment in the movie where you're like, that's it, that's all I needed right there?
Go ahead, Curtis.
The interview. That's it. Like I said, they could have given me just the interview for the whole movie. I would have been good. Yeah,
it's a solid scene.
Yeah, I would say the interview and Mr. Terrific again. That fight on the beach was, it was so much fun to me. Like I loved it. I love seeing characters like Guy Gardner or Mr. Terrific, characters we've never seen before, just cut loose. And it's almost surreal to see these comic book actors or these comic book characters alive and kicking ass. So that either scene was great for me. I love that. So
I'm easy to please. When Superman comes flying through in the and he saves Crypto, and he does that little slide around where he curves around the. Yeah. I just love cool looking shit, and I was like, cool. There was no reason for that whatsoever. That was just cool. Like he didn't have to do that. He's showing off. Like I love that.
I think we haven't talked about it, but he saved a squirrel. Come on,
he saved the squirrel.
He saved a squirrel.
I would do that. I would save that squirrel.
That is so great.
I actually clapped when they showed Hall of Justice.
Oh
yeah!
Like, when I saw that, I was like, "Woo!" And no one else.
Who was that? Who recently?
I was like, "Yes." Yes,
I saw somebody recently saying that's a real place. That it's like a museum
like a
in
train
Cincinnati or
Oh,
something.
wow.
And that they got to go. They showed the premiere of the movie there in that city, and they got to go see it. That's pretty cool.
Stoked for that.
I think this particular question of how does this set up the DCU is a very broad topic that could continue to like make this conversation go for another hour. So maybe if we could condense that and maybe just talk about the huge cameo at the end. There is one big cameo. Is he talks about Crypto is not his dog. He's kind of fostering it, and then at the very end you see Millie Adcock come in as Supergirl, because we know they've already finished filming the Supergirl movie. That is the next movie that's going to come out next summer, and we already get a sense that she's not like Clark. Like she is completely different. Like, what did you guys think about that? Were you expecting any other cameos, or were you expecting this one at all?
I was secretly hoping for a Batman.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping for something a little bit more, whether it was a villain or like something to tease whatever the next thing of Superman was going to be. So it was okay. I mean, it was all right. It
very innocuous.
Blew me away.
Yeah, it wasn't. And then the last thing I want to talk about.
Real quick on that, as far as setting up the user, I just wanted to touch on one thing, because that was one that I threw out there. I was really thinking more about like the tone of things. So, and like the one moment that I'll point out in the movie is when like they send in, what do they call it, the Raptors, where it's all these like it's dudes, right, with like gear on, and they're flying at him and stuff, and he lasers them all with his laser eyes, right? But then I
think they were robots. Like, I don't think they were humans.
I think there was dudes in the suits.
They were, because the one guy, the mask came off and it was a human inside.
Oh, right? You're right. You're right.
But they all land on the ground, and then they kind of like, oh gosh, like they kind of bounce it. Like, so it was almost like I was talking about with like the Looney Tunes with the bomb exploding in your face, and it's like black powder, right? It was like, yeah, he just lasered all these guys, but nobody's dead. Like you know what I'm saying? It's okay. Like, we can do all this cool stuff in action, and somebody can drop all the way from the sky and land, and they're still going to be okay.
Right.
So
I do
I just
wonder
feel like
because I
that
do.
sets up this universe as a comic book world where you don't have to take everything so seriously.
Oh, absolutely. Greg, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that Malik guy is dead though. That was messed up.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
Yeah, that guy's very dead. I did
Yeah, they
not
didn't pull
expect
punches.
that.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like, I
when-
thought
when
this
it
would
was-
last
when it-
longer. He's like, I thought this would last longer. I was like, wow. He's
Yeah, he
dead.
was a
That guy
jerk.
is dead.
Yeah.
And then, we kind of talked about this just a little bit, but I do think now I don't think this is going to happen. I actually don't think we're going to get a third wave of McFarlane movie figures because McFarlane historically doesn't do that. Like his big push for the movie comes out at the very beginning,
Right.
and then he pretends like it never happened,
to
and
the
then he moves
next.
on to the next thing. But there is potential here for a third wave, and there are some figures that I would love to have from this movie in a third wave.
Sure.
And I just wanted to see if you guys like had any thoughts. Did you have any ideas? I mean, for one, I think once the movie's been out for a while, they could very easily take this guy, pop his head off, give us another
For sure.
face, and and have another Ultraman. I would love to have another Crypto that's flying in a flying pose. So they gotta
Or
somehow
articulated.
maybe in a flying pose that comes packed in with another character.
Right.
But I mean, Guy Gardner needs an action figure from this movie. I mean, they
Hawk Girl.
re-released Hawk Girl. Yeah, she'd
Yeah.
make a great engineer. We didn't get an engineer figure. They just kind of, let that go. They could even do a Raptor. I don't know who would really want one, but I mean, I don't know. So were there any figures that you could think that it was like, man, that'd be really cool? Like I would love, like, give me that in action figure.
I'll be honest. Normally, I don't collect movie figures. Like
Me
they
either.
don't do anything for me. The only reason I got that Superman was because he looked so good, and that Crypto's amazing.
Yeah.
But normally, I don't like. I would rather have like if I'm going to get a Guy Gardner, I'd rather have like the comic book
Right.
Guy Gardner, and not the movie Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
I don't need a Nathan
I'm different.
Fillion Guy Gardner, but I will take a Henry Cavill head and put it on my Ultraman. I will get that.
Send it to Mark. Send it to Mark.
Do not.
Ever since my stepson was little, I would take him to see the X-Men movies or Spider-Man, and we would go buy the movie action figure. So it's just like a nostalgia thing. But if the movie's good, if I love the character, I think a movie version of it is cool. So I will go.
I came out of that theater and immediately wanted to go to Walmart and buy the Mr. Terrific figure from the movie. And
I
then I
did
came
too.
home and watched a bunch of reviews for it. And I was like, damn, that thing looks like ass.
Yeah,
It does.
they've got a Mr. Terrific from the Multiverse line that's amazing. Like that's the
Yeah.
one to get.
Comes
Really?
with like a soft goods
Yeah.
cape.
Dude, soft goods jacket and stuff. It looks
Yeah, jacket.
good.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get
But
the
didn't they-
super powered with the little T machine thing. The T.
Yeah.
T
Yeah,
machine.
Superpowers
the
version. I
vehicle
think
is-
I'll probably get.
which
yeah.
apparently was very easy to fly. Very
Apparently.
intuitive control.
Intuitive. Yeah, it's intuitive.
Intuitive. Dudes, I think we rang just about every little bit of goodness out of this movie that we could possibly think of. I appreciate you both for coming on and
I
doing
give it a
this,
thumbs up.
especially to do a pre-recorded
Final thoughts? You're gonna do a final
final
thoughts?
thoughts on the movie. Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Let's go around.
I-
Curtis, you start. Greg, I'll go.
I would
next.
say it didn't have everything that I was wanting or hoping for in the movie, but I think it is, like you said, an unapologetic comic book movie. It's fun from start to finish, and I love what it sets up for the future. I feel like this is the right tone for this universe, so I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Yep. Couldn't agree more.
Super excited.
Super.
Super
Yeah, no,
excited.
I think James Gunn was the right choice. I think he picked the right actors for the job. He wrote the right script. This is the right opening movie for DC Studios at the right time. Like it's like we were talking about hope and positivity. This movie is an embodiment of that. So I think it's the right time, the right movie, the right director and actors. And it's fun. It's, my girlfriend was thoroughly entertained. She wasn't bored. She didn't yawn. And I had a great time. I'm going to see it tomorrow. So
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my boys to go see it next week when we're
I love
out of town all weekend. But I'll take them like maybe Tuesday or Wednesday night. We'll go check it out again. Go take them to go see it. And then I would just add that look, everybody lives in camps these days. We're all we're all walled off. We've made these little like walled gardens for ourselves that we live in, and everybody lives in camps. And there is the Henry Cavill camp, and there's the Zack Snyder camp, and there's the Christopher Reeve camp, and there's the Smallville camp. And like, listen, look, like this world is too wild and too crazy and too burning to the ground to deny yourself any kind of joy or fun. I don't care what camp you're in. If you like comic books, if you like comic book characters, go do yourself a favor. Whether you think you're going to enjoy it or not, go see it. Wait until the movie is like $5 on a $5 Tuesday, if that's what you got to do. But just do yourself a favor and go and see it. Watch it when it comes home, if that's how you prefer to do it, and just give it a shot, because it is unlike any other live action superhero movie you have ever seen. And yeah, I loved it beginning to end. I have zero complaints. Like
for 2 hours, I forgot about the real world. So
100%.
All three of us were super stoked.
Super
stoked to go see it. I was a kid.
Absolutely.
I bought the shirt, I bought the toy. Like I was ready. I was a little boy again.
This movie came at a time when I desperately needed it. I usually reserve this level of excitement for Star Wars movies or Star Wars TV shows, but I let myself get totally swept up in it, and I'm very happy. I can't wait to go see it again.
Superman shirt though, so
I think I'll try to get one before. Well, thank you guys for coming on and doing this. I really appreciate you. If you're in the chat still and you stayed through all the super spoilers, we appreciate you very much. Thanks for hanging through. This has been a really long one. Typically, Greg and I don't go this long.
Thank you for Curtis.
You know, we peter out pretty quickly, but we had a third set of hands in here, so I think we were able to go strong. If you get my meaning. And I think we all finished to completion. Double fists. That's right. I mean. Let me see here. I think I have something for that.
I don't even need the extra hands. Just give me 2 fists and I'm good.
That's it.
There we go.
That's all he needs.
That's all you need. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I'm glad to sit here for 2.5 hours almost and break bread and chop it up with 2 of my favorite people on the planet. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see you again here back next week. Greg and I will be live. Next week we're doing it live, and then it'll be 2 more pre-recordeds after that. I'm sorry, but that's how it's gonna be. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and we'll catch you in the toy aisles. See you guys.